and I still I managed to move back to this other place where my desk microphone was. That's why I sound different. And I forgot my webcam.
I'm just letting you start the stream with that because I'd start streaming when I said I was going to hit start streaming. So
I'm British, so it works.
Does that mean I have to stop modding now?
All right. Hi, everybody. I think we're live. What's the delay on this shit? I just been like itching my nose. Let's see. Wave 1, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005.
Depends on what you set OBS to.
I think the minimal is depending on your
14,
internet speed and your
like,
encoding.
It's on zero. It's all everything is set to
between
0.
9 to 14 seconds is your average delay.
Okay.
Some partnered streamers can get it down to like 5, but that's in incredible circumstances.
I wonder why it takes probably just encoding and shit. I don't know. I know there was a delay option. Anyway, hello everybody. However many people are in the fucking stream, because my number doesn't update right. It says there's like 6 people in here, but there's more than 6 talking. Welcome to Get to Know Your Mod Author live stream. I'll introduce people. There's Blue. It's my 3D modeler. That's me. That's Orbid King. He's done some shit. The Big Biscuit, Naf, Roy Batarian, and Orbid King's in here twice because he has a terrible setup. Ellie couldn't make it this week. Gopher hates us. Fading is still sleeping, I would guess, seeing as he hasn't responded to a text. Mike Moore will join us later. See, Dante had to run off, but he'll join us back later. It's a fucked up day. I probably should have done this next week. Oh well.
Speaking of Gopher hating you, he's literally just started now.
He's a what?
He's just started now. He's just gone live.
Oh, he just started streaming?
Yeah.
Fuck Gopher. He's invited to join. Hates us.
He's doing his Barry the Peasant console.
What?
Well. He bought an Xbox, obviously, because he's silly.
Oh god, that's right.
Yeah, and he's playing Barry. He's called Barry the Blade Runner now.
Yeah, it's probably because the only thing you can do is do melee in fucking 15 frames per second.
Yeah, he's decided on shooting without VATS is pointless. So whenever he runs out of AP, he just starts screaming and running for cover.
And you can't. Well, actually, you could cheat because all the mods in the top files are just cheat mods right now.
Much. Like, he's brilliant at FPS games on the PC with his mouse. Like I can't best him in most games. But when it comes to a controller, oh my god, it's comical.
Yeah, I've actually started to get more annoyed at the controller. Like, when the controller works at 60 frames per second, I don't really have an issue, right? But I noticed that when I was doing the fucking one video, my OBS for some reason fucked me down to 15. It's 15 to 18 frames per second. So I was literally playing like I was on a console. I couldn't fucking hit shit. I was playing with the Xbox controller at 15 frames per second. I'm like, no wonder they have the auto aim toggle shit on for fucking consoles. Like, you know that they have it where it drags. They started it with Halo, and Halo had it where it would, if your cursor got really close to somebody, it would pull toward them to hit them. And now a lot of FPS game companies do that because it makes up for the fact that you can't fucking aim at 15 frames per second with a controller. So these shits probably think they're actually good at fucking FPS games when it's just a program auto-correcting their aim for them at the last second.
Yeah, I recently purchased Black Ops 3, yes, punch me, because a few of my housemates wanted to play it. So we got in game, and it happens all the time. You know, there's 3 or 4 people crossing between each other, and your cursor's just flying off each side trying to follow these guys, even though you can't see them. It's like, I could have got 4 or 5 kills there just by shooting in a straight line, but
yeah.
In the auto aim, it's like, I'm going up here. No, I'm going down here.
It's fucking auto aim. Hey, Dogtooth. Dogtooth decided to join us.
Ah, nice.
Peyton's just staring. Like, can you hear us, Peyton? I don't think Peyton can hear us.
No. Yeah. Peyton wears a toque because he doesn't want to get a haircut.
Fuck haircuts. You see how small my head is? My head is tiny. I don't do short hair.
Hey, if you don't need haircuts.
That's right.
I can't take that shit. This is be just fuck that. I don't know. I'm fucking terrible. So who's enjoyed having their shit stolen? Oh, Blue, your shit's now been stolen too because they stole the castle mod and put it up there too. So they stole your 3D models too now. Actually, I think they had the thumper in that one, so they might have stole that too.
Yeah. The lights, you mean?
Yeah. No, the castle had models in it too, didn't it?
Nope. No, you made the castle, and I went, you know what you need? You need torches. I think that was one of the pitches I saw when we first met.
Give them time, I guess. The how about the fucking XO2 power armor being stolen for the 480th time?
Yeah,
I gotta say, I am impressed with how fast they take that down every time.
Are they actually? Because it took them it was 15 plus hours, and there was at least 100 reports on the guy for mine, and an email to Grandstaff, and he removed the mod himself, and he's still uploading pirated mods right now.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the XO2 goes, the first time I think it took them like maybe 10 hours to take it down, but then it's been re-uploaded like 7 times, and I've never even got a chance to see the uploaded file. It's always gone before I get there.
I think it's because the thieves don't realize that they need to upload at 5:01 p.m. Eastern Time, and the mod will stay up until 9 a.m. Eastern Time because they.
Yeah.
Do they not have a system to IP ban or what?
I don't know. I don't know. Matt, if you're listening, by the way, let us know that somewhere so we can because if you don't have a system to IP ban, please do. For fun.
I think he's more gonna just be here to listen.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna identify himself if he shows.
No,
yeah,
no,
that would probably be a huge mistake.
He did say in an email he would try to listen today, so I'm throwing it
Well,
out.
yeah, you can report it to Microsoft too, and they will ban their console for that. So,
But,
suppose it's good.
But the problem is that the people who are uploading it clearly have to own the game on PC, and you can make any old account on Bethesda.net and then just log into your CK on that account and upload it. It doesn't have to match your account on the Xbox. That's the problem, I think.
that's true, but they probably could trace it by IP, but they would need the tools to do that.
And that's the problem. It's just, I don't know. It's frustrating as fuck. But like some people have said, and it's gonna fucking screw IP bans, hardware bans. It's going to happen. I get that. I think faster reaction time would be very nice, and hundreds and hundreds of little console shitters supporting the people who steal the shit probably isn't in their best interest.
The console plebs don't fully understand what goes on behind it, so they don't really get that it has been stolen and how much it means to somebody to have your hard work stolen, and that you don't actually really get any compensation for it. It's just something being stolen and somebody else is getting credit for it. It's like, wait, what?
That's what that also needs to be addressed. I actually popped a message off to MXR to see if he could do a video on it, because I was like, he's got the biggest swinging cock for the amount of people he can reach. So I mean, just educate. If it's just an education issue, that's fine. Which I'm actually kind of on the fence about, because after that whole retarded love banning me thing for pointing out where the donation button was, I actually got a lot more donation buttons. Or donations. I got a ton of donations in 30 minutes. I was fucking shocked. And I was like, maybe it is just information. I don't know. G-Staff is listening. She just mentioned it. Hold on, I'll mod you on this.
Hi, G-Staff.
Don't fucking text and drive,
Terrible
bro.
idea.
Don't text and drive. But yes, there's you an idea, G-Staff. IP banning people. Maybe a moderation team that's available, 24/7 as opposed to 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
I mean, 24/7 is very difficult, even if they put it between Montreal, Maryland, and Cork.
I lost
Chinese?
6. My headset went out.
Get
Yeah.
some Chinese people in there. I'm sure they'll do it.
Well,
That's a lot more of a span they can cover, but that's still a lot more manpower.
I get that it's a decent amount, and I think that what Nexus has that they got lucky with is, they have moderators from all over the world, so they tend to have somebody online at any given point. And then, yeah, there could be reports coming in, but yeah, you guys know my stance on this one. I want fucking paid modding, so I want them to curate the fucking hell out of this shit.
Yeah.
So, The Vertigo, you were asking what got stolen from me? Almost everything. They jacked the fucking my all-in-one. I'm pretty sure I was running out, so they emailed the Grandstaff when I was like, he's like, what got stolen? I just linked him to my profile page and said, flip a quarter on one of my mods. That got stolen. Like, that's what they did. They just took an... And the worst part is, I think about it, too, is that especially the people supporting it are destroying their save games. Like, the one that he ported would break save games. There's no fucking doubt about it in my mind. It was bad. I mean, it's literally my work from December till now, and it took me an entire week just to make it work together as one and fix all the errors that were running on the PC. So I can't imagine what the fuck was happening to consoles with it. Oh, Mr. Kennedy decided to join us. Hi.
Hi.
We told her we needed some eye candy since Big Biscuit won't run his fucking webcam. I'm serious. I'm serious,
so flattered.
Lucky. He's the only one who looks better than you in here. It's just...
Oh.
Can't fucking... Oh, that's right. You weren't on earlier when he had it running, so you don't even know what he looks like. I wonder if I could force... That'd be awesome if I could force your webcam on, Big. Just be like, go webcam.
Yeah, I got my laptop closed halfway, so you'll only be able to see my crotch.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Anybody want to yap about something? Because I am fucking tired for some reason, so I'm out of it.
Yes, I'd like to stress that you made one of the best points in your rant video, which is a lot of people don't understand that thieves are only hurting the community and thus the end user, the end console peasant, if you want to call them like that. Because if it becomes a huge pain in the ass to release mods, if the only thing you get from releasing the credit that you might get gets taken away from you by another person, then who's going to continue doing this work for free for everybody? So you really don't want to piss off all the authors, because ultimately it will only hurt you. And everybody who speaks out in support of thieves is hurting.
They're
the
hurting
community
themselves. Like, yeah, they're just not gonna get shit. I mean, just for an example,
hurt themselves since
I might
Get
have
all
to,
the
I might have to
downloads
kill
from
this grid view
the
soon.
stolen ones to the correct ones, and redirect everything.
Yeah, and then like the one guy's like, well, if it breaks your game, blame the original mod author. Like, the original mod author's been working his ass off for like 150 hours to make a version that won't break your game, shit stain.
Well,
Hold
PC guys will they'll start retaliating, and we'll just make everything require phase, and that'll be the end of that.
No,
the mods.
No, you don't need to. That's actually what I was going to point out, because Grandstaff is listening. Grandstaff, later today or tomorrow, I'm actually going to make a tutorial video on how to make it so your mod will break a console and break their save game if you want to. I can make it so it just shuts the fucking console down if it's on the console. Scripting is not hard. We can detect consoles. And we can also do things with NIFs and shit to run errors that are harmless to computers, but will break the consoles when they're loaded onto there. And the problem with this is, the problem I have with this is, it affects the console users, which I'm kind of okay with, unless they start speaking out against the fucking people stealing shit. Because if they're going to keep supporting the people who are thieves, the thieves will keep happening. And it'll just keep demoralizing the community. And the best way for that to stop is to piss off the users.
Well, but this is where I disagree, because you're making it seem like every console user ultimately supports it.
If they don't speak out against it when they see it, I believe they support it. That even if they don't speak out against it.
But doesn't that go? Isn't that the same case for the PC users?
Yeah.
So why work to damage consoles then?
Because the only way we're going to get, in my opinion, I believe Bethesda will do it over time. The problem is to get them to do it in a timely manner is to cause outrage over it. At the moment, it's the fact that they don't fast ban these fucking people, if they don't IP ban them. The guy who stole all of my shit is still uploading stolen shit right now. And that infuriates me. He's stealing shit from other people. He's demoralizing people who should get rightful credit. He's breaking console user save games. And he's still active right now, posting shit. And if you don't fix that, if you don't nip it in the bud, like you said, PC users, well, we've got a fucking system on Nexus where they've been perma-banning people and IP banning people, and then re-IP banning them if they change it. Fuck them. They'll keep fucking them over for years now. And that's something that's been going on for a long time, and we've gotten used to it. Yeah, I don't give a crap about Brave New World shit. It's the... And Grandstaff, you're right. How would they actually know if they're just browsing mods in-game? You are correct. That's part of the problem. That's why there needs to be faster bans on the people when they're reported. You've got people doing bad ports. They're going to break people's games. You're basically, it's just going to piss off the users. It's going to piss off the people making the mods. And that's the shitstorm you guys got yourself in with that in-game browser, with only 3 pictures and a very limited description tab that I can't even fit my all-in-ones description into the fucking description tab. Like, just listing the mods and what they do doesn't fit. Like, just even a short, it drives me nuts. But I mean, I get that, Big. I get that we're pissing people off, but the system's inherently bad in the way it's set up because, like what Grand Theft just said, they won't know they're downloading a stolen mod. That's why I'm actually.
Yeah, I don't think the issue is like, so your mod will be stolen at 5:01 and then it's there to 9 a.m. right?
Oh, it's there a lot longer, but that's a joke about their moderating times.
To be fair, I don't think that's the issue because remember Minecraft modding, where people would just steal mods willy-nilly and communities would force people to accept the stolenness. That's the kind of thing we have to.
What the fuck?
Yeah. People made lots and lots of Minecraft mods, and basically the community forced the mod authors just surrender, their mods to thing, and then eventually Minecraft modders just stopped making mods. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minecraft community is a complete cesspool in that regard. I can totally back that up. It happened in the Sims 2 community too, with all the stealing and because they allowed paid modding too, and people were just stealing stuff left and right, and it just got to be a complete nightmare.
Well, you can run a script that detects if it's an Xbox or whatever, then pop a message box up on the screen saying X mod, whatever your mod's name is, has been stolen. Please report the person you got this from, and then crash your game. Well, not crash it, you just quit the desktop.
I know, but we
That's
don't
a
want
much better idea.
especially since Xbox traffic dwarfs PC traffic already. I mean, I've got like 20,000 views on one mod for PC and Bethany. I've got 500,000 views on the same mod for Xbox.
That's you realize that statistic is completely fucked up, right, Noctium? Because it's
don't think so.
Yeah, it is. It's if that mod ever shows up in their browser in game, like even if they're looking at one mod and your mod's down here, you get a view. It's a fucked up statistic. It's really
the user needs to press a button like favorite or rating to engage with the mod, right? Well,
correct. Your favorites and your ratings will be true. Yes.
Yeah, so I've got the same proportion with the PC and Bethany on favorites and ratings. I basically got 3,000 ratings on the T49 after a day of being out.
Did they get rid of the being able to rate mods without downloading them yet?
No.
Not yet, no, but that's still engagement.
Yeah, what's up with that? Matt, if you're listening, I don't own Far Harbor, I don't own Fallout 4 at all, but I rated it 0 out of 10. Do you think it's a fair review? And if not, why do you allow mods to be rated without downloading them?
It's 0 out of 5, but still.
Probably doesn't even use an XPnet either.
A view is selected. G-Staff is typing while he's gonna... if you kill yourself, you can't blame us for this, right? If you actually crash your car, this is not our fault. I'm just gonna point this out.
Okay, guys, get this. I just got a mod request through Second Life. This is my
Did
life.
they ask you to port it to PS4?
No. This is a product for Second Life, right? Now, okay. This chick's like, "Oh, are you open-minded to new ideas?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." She goes, "I want a pony boy / girl mating stall."
What? I love Second Life. I'm switching modding to Second Life.
This is what they've asked for. So now you gotta realize sometimes these guys have good ideas, right?
Second Life.
So, well, what kind of animations would I need to make for that? Oh, well, they'd have to be, script locked in. What else? Oh, yeah, place them bent over the rail and. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
This stream just went.
I'll save you the details, but guys, you want to talk about modding and you gonna get asked to do?
Oh, okay. Sorry, you knocked him. I think. Hold on. I think G-Staff was saying that a view is when they actually select your mod. So okay, when they hover over it.
And it just is like a little pop-up.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great example because I have both up right now. Well, let me go back to the deathmatch. So I can't see all the stats Richard can, but on Nexus...
You can't even see downloads, I don't think, on Bethesda.net, right? Like, it takes forever for them to pop up.
For me. But, so on Nexus, there's 89,000 something odd total views. and there's 2,704 ratings on the Xbox version, and only 195 on the PC.
Oh, you're talking about endorsements?
Yeah. And the endorsements are 486 on Nexus, so a combined total of like 645 something for PC in total. You know, the console market is huge, and they're really engaged.
See, that's the thing I'm kind of worried about. I'm worried that if we're just flavor of the week, or really if this is a new world, as Matt said.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the immensity of the user base.
Like, that's honestly what I think it is too.
Yeah, everybody who has the game can mod it, and everybody wants to try it because they've never been able to.
We've got PS4 Windfall as well in a month's time.
Yep. Well, I mean, you knew the user base was bigger by far on the freaking consoles anyway, and the hence why we're basically playing it like a console on the computer. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not okay with how long it takes to take care of shit. It's ridiculous. I mean, I get that some shit needs to be, like, if somebody's claiming something stolen and they provide proof, well, you still have to check to make sure that was their shit, then check back. My issue is that I had Captain Shitstain saying on his fucking comments that he stole the mod, he's proud of it, and it's a political statement, and it just stays there for 5 more hours. Like,
that's awful.
I'm just blown away. I was just like, really, this is just gonna keep going on, and you know, and to the defense, like, everybody wants to, because of my fucking rant video, like, you hate console peasants. No, I hate everybody, just to clear the room for everybody who's stupid and thinks that in the stream. But for their credit, like, the vast majority of fucking comments on that guy's page was trashing the hell out of him and saying they reported him. And for that, I'm okay with it. I think I hate more the Reddit communities where it's like 100-to-1 ratio of people defending the thieves over top of, and of course justifying it by saying, well, if they had ported it to consoles, yeah, in what time frame? The last week and a half that I've had to do it? Hold on a second while I just quit my job and, you know, port all my shit to your consoles for you, you cunts.
See, that's the irony.
For free.
In the time we've actually been spending trying to make it work on Xbox, people have been taking them
stealing it, yeah.
Because we're actually at the same time we're trying to make it work for them. We're trying to be nice, and they're like, "No, we'll just take it," like, because we can't wait for you to actually hear about us. So
yeah, and then the fucking console plebs in droves. Like, you've got the one person out of every like 20 who are like, not all console people are like this. I'm like, what about the 19 comments above you calling me a faggot, a shit stain, a PC elitist? Like, I haven't spent the last 100 and something hours in my week working on the mod to work for you fuckers, and this is the response we get by your vocal minority. And if the majority of the vocal people are the people supporting the theft and berating mod authors, it doesn't matter if 95% of them are silent and just want to play and download and stuff. And it doesn't even matter if even 10% of those actually donate to us and give us money. At some point, the 5% win. Because the other ones have apathy.
To be fair, it's not that bad. It's like the person who stole your mod, he released a whole new mod. And he's still, like, getting down ratings on his new mod, which supposedly is...
well, it's probably because there's 20,000 plus people who watch my video, and the majority of comments are hating on him. So, I mean, causing outrage does work.
Yeah, that happens for me as well. To be fair, the X community does seem to be quite vigilant about it.
But what happens when it's somebody who's not well known? We've got an audience. Me and you have got an audience. We've got, like, if somebody tried to steal Gopher shit, he's got an audience. But what if somebody steals Joe Blow new mod author shit who makes something good on Nexus, and then it takes him a month to figure out how to make it work on consoles correctly, and in that time period his shit gets stolen 40 times, he's gonna quit. Like, it's degrading as hell to the new people. Like, we've been through it. We've been in this for years. And even then, some of us who've been in this for years are like, well, this fucking goes unchecked for too long, we're gonna quit. What do you think the people who've been in it for a month are gonna do?
That's always a problem. It happens in YouTube. It happens in lots of things that, you know, companies DCMA people with 100 views and stuff like that. The little guy always never win. But in this case, I think Bethesda are on top of it. The little guy can just
hold on. Grandstaff headset, bro. Headset. This is an uncensored chat. Now I think he's gone. Now he's saying like freaking. My daughter starts saying console peasants. So we'll teach her good habits early. All right.
Oh, come on. I don't think that's fair. It's more accessible. I wish I had a console because my computers have always been horrible. I've never gotten 40 frames per second on a last-gen game.
Yeah, but you'll just be going to 15 frames per second for last-gen games, basically. I mean...
Well, I mean, for example, I can run Arma 3 on this new computer on ultra settings for about 10 minutes before it hard resets. I can play Fallout 4 at medium settings for, like, ever at, like, 4 FPS. That's fine.
Have you still got the desk fan next to it?
Yeah.
Maybe you need a second one.
I think I'm going to need way more.
I was going to say, me suggesting to put that desk fan next to it kept you going for a few hours. But if that's not enough.
If console peasant is the worst you're worried about,
that's actually a very valid point, Grandstaff. If that's the one thing that's been said so far, you've got issues. Are your daughters a foul-mouthed little bit? No.
Careful.
His daughter just runs around cussing at people nonstop. Actually, that's why I'm not gonna have kids. I would have like my kids would just like cuss at people.
Thank you. Let me be the first person to say thank you, Darren.
I have a friend who wanted twins so bad so he could just dye their hair white and teach them to walk up to people at different times in like supermarkets and shit and just point at them and say you're gonna die in a week and walk away. And then like the other one comes out of nowhere, so they're just identical. Like I was like, I've fucked up friends. But it sounded awesome. I don't know. I was gonna say something and then I fucking forgot. Anyway, fuck it.
Awesome in your head, you mean? Sounded good in my head before I said it. Yeah,
that shit would actually be funny. Don't get me wrong. Actually, wait, no. That's what I was gonna say. Dogtooth, you're in Southern California.
Yes.
You've got the look. I don't understand why you don't have a new computer. Just walk out with a sign on the side of a freeway. You will make like $27 an hour. That's about the average for a panhandler in Southern California.
Well, I was homeless for a very long time, and it's the same reason I don't advertise donations anywhere. I don't like getting handouts.
But you're working for it. You're holding a sign. Just think of it as a 9 to 5.
Spin it around a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Let's think of it as prostitution. There, it's a job.
Think of it as prostitution. Go to Nevada. It's legal.
Yeah, it's heavy lifting. I'm holding my torso up for 8 hours and a sign.
Now, to be fair, for most of us, you know, mod authors and people who work in video, that is actually a full-time job to hold our torsos up. I just want to point this out.
I don't have that problem.
Oh, wait. Oh, shit. I just closed, like...
everything.
I need to learn how to use my mouse, apparently. Somebody take over for a minute. I gotta pull, like, all my shit back up on my browser.
No need to just upload it.
Okay, well, while he's doing that, I could tell you more about the features this
person...
Oh, cool.
We could talk about the Twitter post.
Grandstaff's daughter is soon going to be modding Second Life.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. I'll be right back.
Hey, Second Life only takes 5%, guys.
She was not smoking now. She saw Dogtooth smoking.
Dogtooth looks anorexic. Can't spell. Anorexis.
Anorexic, Jesus.
Anorexis.
The man's just poor. He's not anorexic. Give him a break.
Well, I'm probably lighter than him. Not 100 pounds.
So Roy, are you moving on to modding Fallout 4 now?
Not yet. No, I'm waiting until all the DLC comes out.
It's probably a good bet.
Like that Nuka world. Yeah.
Did we find anything else?
I'm really looking forward to the Settlement 2 and 3 DLCs. I'm those are just must-have for me.
I love that that's the name of them. Nuka World and Settlement 2 and Settlement 3.
Coast.esm. Yes,
isn't it like Workshop Settlement ESM or some shit?
Yeah, Workshop something or other 3 and 2.
Like, how hard is it to just rename the effing ESP or ESM at the end? Like, they managed it in the last 2 Fallout games. Like,
naming conventions, Bethesda, what?
Hold on. Does anybody recognize the actual hilarity irony in this though? By the way, they had 3 workshop DLCs planned, which if I had to guess, those 3 workshop DLCs planned together would override their own original keyword restriction. So their own DLCs, if the modding community hadn't have found it, would have broke their own fucking system.
That's fairly ironic, yes.
Fucking pathetic.
Well, we found it quickly, so.
Actually, there was a user from the Minecraft community that decided that he was going to take the A World of Pain name and make a mod called A World of Pain Continuation. And I had to private message him and ask him not to use that name. It's like, I'm the maintainer of the mods for New Vegas and Fallout 3, and DJ doesn't even talk to me. And I don't even have the balls to make an AWOP mod for Fallout 4. That's his thing. And here's some guy that's got like 50 posts and has never made a mod in his life, just comes in, oh, I'm going to do this. Now he's got this huge mod pack or whatever that he's making. And he posted that he's going to be making and uploading compatibility patches for it. I don't see where that's legal to do anyway, but... You're missing out all the fun stuff in the mod authors forums again.
Seriously, like I don't know. I'd get kicked again though. I just don't. Because somebody posted that they were walking in a park and that they thought somebody was going to rape them, and yeah, I probably would have just got kicked then and there.
I mean, when the first thing you do when you get access is to immediately scream and yell at everyone and call it. I mean.
I do have to admit when I'm wrong, though, because somebody just posted a comment recently on my rant video where, in case people who don't know, I said that I hope that the people who believe that stealing our shit is right, that I wish that they would jump off a short bridge and not kill themselves, but break their legs, their spine, and live a crippled, miserable life for the rest of their lives. Somebody did correct me and said, so you want them crippled and miserable, as if that'll solve stupidity. It might be satisfying, but they'll still remain stupid. Touche.
Got you there, man.
Stupid is a disease to which there is no cure.
Touche. You win, Dead Spryer. You win.
Just can't fix stupid, man. That's all it is. Simple. Window licking stupid. You just can't help them.
Vertigo. I'm never wrong. That was just a case of I don't know. I posted that.
It was oversight. It wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Just an oversight.
So, like, what can we do to educate the console users about?
That's why I threw a message out to MXR, because the people with the bigger user base are going to have to do it. Like, when you post up a mod and you get that much, that's the other problem with the description being so fucking small too. Is that I was putting like a tag at the end of the description about all the things wrong with Bethesda.net and hope people would start talking out about it and get them to push their shit along. But it started eating up like 90% of my fucking description. It was like a paragraph. But if you've got a big viewership, post up something. Just post something about, you know, keep an eye out for stolen mods, etc., etc. I'm gonna put pop-ups in my mods, like so when you want to knit
the pop-up idea is good. Well, I feel like you could even make a tutorial so that it makes it really simple for any mod maker. They could put that in there, and then it would bring more awareness to console users, because no matter what mod they use, they could get a pop-up.
To be fair, I found that the console users, I went in there with little trepidation, but I think they're just the same as the PC Fallout 4 mod users. They just have the same comments. Your mod broke my game. So
how many times
I feel at home? I feel at home. It's just more of them.
Do you know what's amazing to me is somebody made the point that, which I thought too, I actually initially thought, that consoles might be a little bit easier because everybody has the same fucking hardware and they can't really fuck up the install instructions. Just click, but somehow on the 20x settlement budget that I've got, I literally just have tons of comments, won't work with Far Harbor DLC. I'm like, and the next guy's like, this is awesome, it works with all the DLC. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm getting that as well. I'm getting people who are like, oh, this broke my game. And then the next guy's like, works perfectly, amazing. And I'm like, not the same machine, what?
I don't have an Xbox. Can you actually adjust your load order?
Yeah, you can, but it goes back to mod compatibility. They further misunderstand the fact that, you know, mods will fuck with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody mentioned on my Bethesda.net simulator on Nexus that it's only a 1 of 10 because it doesn't log him out every 5 minutes and change his load order every time he logs in. So I'm thinking maybe there might be a problem where it fucks with your load order. I don't know. Because I don't use it. I don't even use it. Like, I've looked at it once on fucking Fallout because I just manually install shit when I do it from Nexus. I don't know. I've been doing this too. I don't even like Nexus. I don't like NMM. Like, fucking, I manually install my mods and then use NMM to check it for me because I'm still not sure if the INI thing reads right. I'm lazy.
How many mod authors actually use NMM? I don't use it. I haven't used it.
Fading does all the time.
I do as well.
I actually use the in-game manager.
The which one?
The in-game manager.
Okay.
I've had zero problems.
You are an honorary console peasant.
Thank you. I'll accept that. I don't even have controllers for my regular Xbox.
Wait,
I mean, I
for
used to
your
use
regular Xbox, like
was it Mod Organizer?
No, I have a 360.
Oh, okay. I was like, that'd actually be kind of cool. Just play that shit. All right, so who is Dano PDX?
What appears to be... Is that a banana on a desk?
That looks obscene. There's a
You
cream.
can change your name, right?
There's a neck.
Neck, Dano PDX.
At least it's not a neck beard. We hate those people.
Thank you, Blue.
You're welcome. Shave that, eh?
No.
Yeah, are you kidding
It
me?
makes
After that first live stream, I have to I pull out like an actual just a caliper. I was trying to think. I can't even make a joke because I can't think of the right word. Like measuring my goatee because Big's like, it's off. Fuck you, Big. That first one, he sent me like screenshot after screen cap of the fucking video, and he's like, your goatee is not symmetrical. I'm like, fuck you.
Dude, it was atrocious. Come on.
I wake up at like 11, jump in the shower, shave half asleep. I'm lucky my face is still existing. And then like get on this shit. Hey, Zalder.
Hello.
Alright, at least we know who you are because you made your name. Who the fuck is Dano PDX?
We'll find out eventually.
We'll find out in like half an hour when they fix their mic. Okay, for everybody new, it's Zalder. He's not a Nexus moderator, so don't ask him any questions, and his opinion doesn't reflect the Nexus. And he's also banned me once. So
also true.
Unlike Mikolov's, it was a justified ban. Yeah.
I will not comment on that.
That's why I was telling Robin, I was like, you're dodging a bullet having to go to that stupid, well, we won't blow that, but Robin's out for personal shit. I was like, you're dodging a bullet because you know I'm going to fucking go off on that shit. But I still want to know who the fuck Dano PDX is. I'm just going to fuck it. Just leave it there. Hi, Dano. You can type. You can type whoever you are. You can, like, hold on.
It's Dano PDX.
Never mind. I don't even know how to fucking type. I thought there was a way to do it. Oh, it's the more
You can
button.
actually type specifically to him.
That's what I did. I just like, who are you?
Who
Obviously,
are you?
it's somebody who had the link. Their name is just weird. Or somebody gave them a link, I guess. So, Zalder, are you working on anything?
No, not really.
Bored with modding after flags?
Yep. Just a game now.
Just a game now. I don't know. I have more fun modding than I do playing this shit. Like, I keep playing The Witcher for like a couple hours, and then I like go back and mod, and then I play The Witcher the next day for a couple hours and go back and mod, and it's just like...
Hey, did you get fucked over by that kid yet?
Shut the fuck up with spoilers! Now every time I see a kid, I want to try to stab him to death because you fucking like some kid's gonna jack me out of gold. I'm like,
oh, he fucks you hard.
I do love that game though. I don't even know how many hours in I am, but it's like 17. I want to point this out to everybody in the stream because I pointed this out to other people. Like CD Projekt Red gives out the Blood and Wine DLC for $17, I think is what I picked it up for on whatever Origin, right? $17, and they're like, it has about 20 hours of content. No, it has like 40 hours of content. And by Bethesda standards, their pricing should have been about $370 because I think Bethesda prices 2 hours of content at $15.
Yeah, it would be a standalone game.
Yeah, we would have paid $60 for that fucking thing. Like, I wouldn't have even batted an eye. Like, they undersold the shit out of it.
Storylines I've ever seen in that type of game. Like, I won't give it away, but like, it's yeah. Like,
it's good.
That, and you know, like, you don't actually like the kid and all that. You're like, holy shit, this is like Machiavellian shit, right?
To be fair, I mean, to bring it back to Fallout, I just watched Gopher play Old World Blues the other day, and I cried because we're never going to get that again.
Wait, was that the one where there was like a 45-minute intro of him talking to one robot? Because I was like,
Yes.
what is this shit?
I fanboyed so hard when he finally went back to Jack. I was like,
That's an awesome DLC, Loving Blood and Wine. Yeah, it's. I get distracted. Like I'm just at the start of the fucking quest. Like I think I've got 3 main missions in, but The Witcher is great for ADHD. Like what you're just running around and like the shit that happens. It's for people who haven't played it. There's a difference between. There's a big difference in the feel between, say, a Fallout random encounter and the Witcher random encounter. The Fallout random encounter has felt, for this Fallout especially, flat. Like, it's a short storyline, whereas The Witcher, I was running by and there's a guy crying over a dead body. Next thing you know, I'm recreating an elven ritual to animate statues that are coming to life to try to kill them that have murdered all of his friends. And you can just keep asking him. You can get all the lore behind it, the history and shit. You're like, holy fuck. Like, 50-plus minutes have gone by with mostly me just in dialogue because I wanted to learn more about the story.
Point, though, because Fallout actually has a lore and a world building. It seems like in Fallout 4, Bethesda have gone out their way to take all the lore out of the game.
Yeah.
In case very well. Or playing Fallout, I guess you had random encounters like that, but little quests that lasted an hour, that just happened out of nowhere.
It's just a shooter without a rail.
Wait. CD Projekt Red is a Polish company, and $17 is a crap load of money for that DLC.
Oh,
is
boo.
their economy that bad? Like,
that's just a cheap blow.
Was that just a cheap blow against Polish people, or is their economy crappy? I'm not sure. Oh, fuck it. Polish people. I keep forgetting it. They're a Polish company. I'm still never going to get over that April Fool's horse DLC thing. That was like the greatest fucking April Fool's from a company. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. They're making fun of Roach and all of his bugs and shit. And they're like, we have like the best animators, and they've got like 2 people in a horse outfit, like making random animations like the bugs that Roach does. Like, it was great. What happened to all the original weapons? I don't even know, because at least the good thing is I don't remember like enough about New Vegas and Fallout 3 to actually, and even 2 to hate it as much. I don't like it when stories aren't engaging in a video game. Like if you're gonna voice act
that's
it,
the thing, because they thought the Fallout 4 story was so engaging with their losing the baby and their.
Oh my god, it's the worst part of the game.
Yeah, but it's like. The Fallout 3 story is actually better than this. It has worse dialogue, but it's a better story because Fallout 4 isn't actually about anything. And if you're one of those settlers that comes to one of your settlements in Fallout 4, everything will be same from the start of the game for you till the end of the game. It doesn't matter if the Institute or the Railroad or the Brotherhood takes over Boston. Nothing matters. For Fallout 3, at the very least, the dialogue was quite crap, but like it was about good and evil. Or with this one, it's just like, well, it's just superficial.
It's about this really crappy parent who keeps screaming, "Where's my baby?" and then goes off for 80 hours to do other shit. Like, in the time it took me to find Sean, I wasn't surprised he was 75. I was like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. I've spent about that long in the rest of the game. Like, so this is logical. This follows up.
I didn't get into that.
Need a soundboard with the Sean thing.
About 200 hours in.
200 hours and you finally meet Sean.
Yes.
Sean!
Well, I mean, I'm 500 hours plus into Fallout 4. I've not finished it, and I refuse to finish it because I just don't have any drive to want to finish it.
It only took me like 160 hours to finish it and the DLC doing everything.
See, as much shit as we give Bethesda, that's still pretty good bang for your buck for the game, even if the story was lackluster. I mean, that's kind of that feeling is what pushed me into doing the Borderlands style loot, because I feel like the game works better as a run and gun. Because after I was playing Doom, I was like, well, I just want these motherfuckers to drop ammo and health that just auto loots to me as I run by. Like that's how much I just think it feels like that. I just make up the enemy spawn by 50% and then make it so shit auto loots to you, and you've got like an infinite inventory capacity.
If you're a player who's been used to playing DLCs with 1 hour intros of dialogue, it's quite upsetting to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main difference. The Fallout 4 isn't a bad game. It's just not a good Fallout game. It's not an RPG anymore.
It took me 17 hours to find Sean, and I guess I beat the game. Yeah, technically. I just hated the baby thing, because there's just so much. I'm looking for my baby. It's like, wouldn't you be a little more distraught? Because it just happened. Like, it literally just happened for her. It's like, you were running in, there was a nuke, like, let's not to mention the PTSD effect of, like, you know, oh, look, everything's getting nuked in front of me, like, fucking, then I'm frozen, my baby's gone, my husband's shot in the head. Well, she obviously didn't love him much, and a divorce was on the way anyway, from how much she grieved over that. And then she just, like, well, I was playing a female character, obviously. I'm assuming the guy does the same thing, but sounds more lackluster from everything I've heard, because everybody's like, his voice actor sucks. And then it's just like, you just run around the wasteland, just like murdering the shit out of it. You just come out, you're just like, I'm good, hey, Codsworth. And then you're reassuring Codsworth. Like, your first fucking charisma line is like trying to reassure a goddamn robot. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a fucking like sociopathic asshole. Even I'd be like, fuck! Like,
the game thinks it's funny, but ironically, the first half an hour on Old World Blues is more funnier than 150 hours of Fallout 4.
True.
Old World Blues was an amazing DLC.
Oh yeah.
Finger phalluses. I remember the robots
saying
saying
that. To Fallout 3 and shit. Like, fuck. I never played any of the DLC for 3 or New Vegas.
Oh man, you gotta play those games.
You gotta play New Vegas DLCs. They're amazing.
Yeah, I think I was
well, except for Honest Hearts, it's not amazing. But Dead Money and Old World Blues are amazing.
Oh yeah, Dead Money and Old World Blues, and Lonesome Road just to finish it off. But Honest Hearts is quite shit.
I agree. Cazadors fucking everywhere.
So basically, you're saying download Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, go through it with was it Sex Out, and then just play the game, right? Like it was meant to.
Yeah, go to Lover's Lab and get all.
Plow your way through the wasteland.
Plow your way through the wasteland. Jesus.
God,
we're so wrong. We're lucky Grant Staff's girl isn't watching now.
Congratulations,
Matt. We made your daughter a stripper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Matt Grandstaff's daughter is writing the next DLC.
She didn't write the last one.
Is her name on a sign like Pagliarulo's?
Is his name on a sign?
Oh crap, he's gone too. I was actually going to ask him if they feed all of their voice actors antidepressants, like by the bucket load before they do their voice acting.
Well, the fact that Chris Avalon is no longer employed and Emil Pagliarulo is kind of one of the biggest injustices in the all.
The fact that you even know that makes you both of you make such nerds. Like I didn't even know who the fucking people are that work there. I swear to God.
No, Chris Avalon, he worked at Obsidian, but then he kind of left under mysterious circumstances. And Emil Pagliarulo, the wonderful writer, he wrote the Fallout 4 storyline.
He wrote Fallout 3 and Skyrim too, and we know how good a story Skyrim has.
Fallout 3 was his best story. Sorry, what?
I was gonna say, I think it was really funny with Skyrim is the fact that they had a story out where Bethesda had like between two people that worked there, they had a contest to see who could bum rush the storyline the fastest. And like I think it was 2 hours 11 minutes or something to actually beat the entire game. What the fuck? Like that's not a good main storyline, guys. You're just running through. Fuck them. That's why I think I'm gonna do the same thing in Fallout for this quest line. I'm gonna make every door open into the player because I always love that effect. Like you're the great Dragonborn, you're like, yeah, I'm the in the face with a door, and it just kicks you to the side. It's like reality check for people. How's that camera working there, Orvid?
Well, considering my phone has just told me it has stopped charging. Wait, what?
Are those
People don't
fat
know he's
stacks of
using his
cash
camera
on your
his-
desk?
He's using his camera on his phone, and he's using his computer mic. That's why he's doing it twice.
He's still doing that.
Yeah, he's still doing that.
Good lord.
He's like,
I guess that means I do have a camera. Oh.
Yeah, but it's kind of I don't even like. There's a way to do it with this thing where you can use a different audio and a different video setting. It's just, but then you're gonna be in here twice, and I don't know how to I can't get rid of it. I mean, I could switch it back to like speaker view, but then it just like starts looping on the top end on the stream. It's a little weird.
Well, you can just take your stream and take off the glasses and then paint your hair red and then put it where I am, and that'll look pretty much just like me.
That's a scary thought.
So you look like a redheaded neo-Nazi.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right, just checking. Salder, you're really quiet. We're used to Robin sitting there calling me a cunt every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Speaking of like ex-employees of Bethesda, right? I was talking to when I was trying to work out Substance Painter to make it work with Fallout, right? I was talking to the only guy I could find, this guy named Johab Lob. Well, he was the person that did the Deathclaw. Like he did that, and but he could totally not help me. He's like, "Yeah, no, I can do it, but I have no idea how to get it into the game."
That's because they didn't use Substance Painter when he still worked there.
I know.
He started using that after I met him.
You met him? Yeah, I've corresponded him a few times, actually. I said, hey, I just need you to go into your settings and give me your screenshots. And he sent me, like, default screenshots. I was like, oh, dude. Not helpful.
Mystic, I feel like you're just in here to shake your head and look at the camera now and then.
Because I don't really play Fallout like you guys. I'm here, more or less, to just kind of watch the whole scene develop with this and all the things that go horribly wrong and just go, okay, all right, maybe eventually I'll get to Fallout modding, but we'll see.
That's what some people feel like. I was talking with, what's his name? Fuck it, I think Peyton, is it Andrew? The guy who's doing the Project Frontier or something for Fallout New Vegas and shit, and they're saying that they've had more people come back to that since Fallout 4. Like, they're actually modding an older game because of Fallout 4 being boring.
On that note, for like big projects, I had somebody from that mod come to me because somebody from the I think it was Lone Star team couldn't figure out how to make a world space in Fallout 4, so they somehow came to me through somebody else. Like, how you're proposing this huge mod, yet you can't even figure out how to make the basic world space.
I don't understand, because we have the world space.
Well, then why the hell was I told by 3 different people that people from Lone Star were trying to get in contact with me, and I even got an email from somebody?
I don't know. That's confusing. They should have just asked me.
Naf, I almost hit you up, Naf, because the fucking I was trying to figure out if they still had the world creation and the random generation, like where you get pick. I couldn't find it. It's not in their fucking worldview. And finally, I loaded up my world space after like 30 minutes of frustration and right-click the render window, and they put it in the fucking right-click menu on the render window for when you're in your world space. Like, and the worst part is that then when you gen the world space, it bugs out because you're in the world space in the render window. It's like, god damn.
It's terrible. I mean, I've had it where I've generated the LOD for a terrain, and it's just I'll reset the entire terrain even after restarting the creation kit, or it's just completely caused the ESP to be corrupted.
And just to point out to everybody who actually believes that the creation kit is what Bethesda used to make the game, that's like me telling you that I'm going to give you the same car that I used to drive home today, but right before I give it to you, I take a sledgehammer, break both of the axles, and remove the engine block.
That's pretty much it.
It's technically the car I used to drive home today. That is actually factually correct. It is, but I'm a fucking cunt.
Do you think they developed the game on a console?
Yes, they definitely did. Could you imagine actually trying to play shit with a console controller? Like, I would lose my mind.
I lose my mind in C-Kit as it is. I mean,
if somebody can actually make that for an interface, like if somebody can make something that makes a controller take the interface for like the render window, I will literally put up like money so we can live stream Ellie for 30 minutes trying to use that to build a house. Like, it would end up with a broken monitor. Like, there would just be a dead person randomly. Like, she's just gonna
the cat, you know.
She'd lose her shit.
It still does the thing when you like move your mouse a little bit. All of a sudden, it'll just like spin the world around in like 720 degrees.
Yeah. It's just like... Which, by the way, when you're in the Commonwealth and you're trying to look at something in the middle of the city, just crashes you. Even on my rig, crashes you because the fucking engine can't handle that. Yeah. Try and make it stop.
It's just like, wow, you guys couldn't fix this by now. You've had 2 iterations of since Gek to fix it. Actually 3, because Obsidian, you know, did their stuff with Gek 2 for New Vegas. So that's been like 3 generations now past the tool, and it still does that. And it still has floating point errors when you have snap to click on. It'll put like 0.01342.
Why'd you have to point that fucking shit out to me? Because now I'm like anal retentive about it. I've noticed that. It does like... It was, dude, I was snapping to fucking every 15, and then I was at like 59.9912. I'm like, what the shit is this?
And you wonder why there's like this little micro seam that you can see when you're
in the game. See, now I remember that shit in Dragon Break when I built the levels. I had that, and it was freaking me out all over the place. So I'd like go back and move the piece again just to get it to snap.
Oh, it still does a thing too, where you move like with the space, you hold space and pan, and all of a sudden it'll just randomly select everything in the world at once. Have you had that happen?
No.
And if you have Snap 2 on, it'll move all of those things and create like 8,000 wild edits in your plugin.
Actually, you know what's really cool, by the way? I've actually been a little bit impressed with that aspect of the engine, because I was fucking around with the castle massively to try to make my pylon thing. Like, I actually scripted I scripted everything in for the castle wall patch fix, so there's like zero anything actually editing vanilla in my mod. But what I ended up doing was I would keep clicking on the walls, and I would end up like moving the walls a little bit to try to test shit out. Well, what I noticed was if I clicked on the wall and I moved it in the window, and then I undid it, if I Control-Z'd it, or even if I moved it back to its initial point and I saved the plugin, it didn't create a dirty edit. It didn't even create a green on green. It was kind of surprising.
That's kind of surprising, yeah.
I literally thought it was going to when I went to clean it, and it did not. I was just like, okay. Now, if that snap error happened, by the way, that snap error happened on that when I noticed it because it moved it to a .991. Now that created a yellow, whatever, an error, an override. This is how good I am at modding, everybody watching. I don't know why you fucking download my mods. I'm like, it created a yellow, guys!
Come on, get horror stories. CK horror stories. Let's do that. Yeah.
Go for it. I haven't killed
anybody else
over it yet, so I'm good.
PK just deleting random cells of my world space.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. I had like, I mean, Peyton, I'm pretty sure I showed you that. Where I had like one entire, like I think it was pretty much the entirety of the sort of peninsula, because the island that I'm doing, it's a peninsula coming.
Now, did you ever hover over those cells in the render window? Were they ever loaded in the render window? Because that happened in Skyrim.
The render window wasn't even open when I generated the LOD.
No, I mean when you actually created the cells, because that happened to me in Skyrim and Discworld. Like I actually went from the bottom left of Discworld and just panned around my entire thing in the render window and then saved, because it was deleting parts of the mesh.
Yeah, this was maybe 2 or 3 weeks after, you know, I've been working on it the entire time. I'd done work in those cells, all this sort of stuff, and you know, I came to generate the LOD one day after, you know, doing it multiple times before. And I load it back up after the generation, and half the maps just disappeared.
This is why I hate world spaces anyway now. After fucking Discworld, I just hate world spaces. It's just so much shit that can go wrong. And then when you start to nav mesh them, then the nav mesh breaks every 5 minutes while you're in the render window. And you're trying to figure out why people won't follow you around in it. And you're like, God damn it, you have to go back and nav mesh. Like, I just hit check on all the cells, because the finalize all cells button just crashes the CK. Like, I don't know if it's that way in the new one, but
in the old one, it's like you can finalize like 16 cells, and then you have to save and reload Gek, or else it'll crash every single time.
I made the mistake of hitting nav mesh my entire world space once. That was funny. I actually thought it might be doing it, and then it just crashed after like 10 minutes. Yeah, it's a good engine, guys. It's a good engine.
This is the tool we made the game with.
There weren't suicides. Oh, Zalder, by the way, I decided I am not going to include the flags in that thing, by the way, because I realized how many flags they were, and that it's like... I think the flags alone would eat up like a quarter of their mod space for a console, so I was just like, fuck it.
I had a lot of fun with those flags. A lot of fun.
I did not making standing ones. That was so boring.
Yeah.
It's like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. I'm like, this is a lot
I have no idea why I did it. I've never used them up myself.
Isn't that the story of modding, though? I don't know.
Yeah.
The first... Honestly, I did find myself using that the UMP, my floating combat text, and I really do like the auto loot functions for my Destiny loot. So it's probably like the first time I'm gonna use my mods. Like, I don't know. I like the feel of the run and gun because I was fucking around with Doom and I really liked the fast paced combat feel to it. Really, it was a lot more hardcore than fucking Fallout.
There's not enough enemies to run and gun in Fallout. You know, you run into the other end of the map. Oh, you run into a dog, and then you run over to there's a ghoul. Like there was an actual mod.
There's people working on that though.
Yeah, there was a ghoul. There was somebody who did a mod that like tripled the amount of enemies.
Well, Fading is working on a random encounter mod as well as like apparently he's working on a dick mod where if there's a radiation storm, it just spawns like 800 ghouls that chase you down like zombies until you hide. And he said if you kill one, it just keeps respawning because it just picks a random number and just keeps that many ghouls chasing you forever. I was like, that's great. We're now playing The Walking Dead.
Cool rampage.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, you kill a raider and then he like respawns after a few minutes as a ghoul. That would be cool.
Now imagine how this shit works with my mod that explodes them in confetti and colored orbs. Like, could you imagine this shit? You just have infinite enemies. There's just fucking orbs everywhere. I thought about making them shadow lights to fuck with consoles. Like, I just wondered how that would work. Like, I have a feeling they're already going to fuck with consoles, and I'm going to have to remove the actual light from them. But I wanted to make them shadow lights. I just want to know what would happen if 15 orbs with shadow lights just dynamically popped out of an enemy and just watch console frame rate go to 1.
You mean my computer go to 1?
Make it to 1.
What else do you think we can do to improve Fallout 4 in terms of replayability?
I think just quests. I think more quests, in my opinion, but that's the hardest thing to do, and it's going to be the least amount of mods you're going to see come out.
Maybe you could just kind of do what you were just talking about with the run and gun thing and just totally get rid of all the quests and make it a shooter like it kind of wants to be, and then
it works really fun too because it's a run and gun, but when you kill people who are quest objectives, it updates the quest and it loots quest items into your inventory. So there's no, like, it'll even auto loot shit too. Like, that's why I said it made the game feel entirely different, which is what I thought was that's why I kept changing it and I made it completely tweakable because
to be fair, those in chat, the quests are actually probably the most easiest thing to do now. You don't have to use fragments or anything to change the stages. It just does
true.
it off.
I did like that.
So and the scene system is like the most easiest thing to do now. If you get your hand around it, it's pretty much the easiest thing. You can add packages, add dialogue, add timers, so you can have pauses and everything like that.
But
so you can make
your
it
time, but you know, your time input on this shit, it takes a lot longer to do a quest. And the other problem is, well, like, this is what I'm hoping with consoles. We'll see what happens with consoles, because this is a sad statement for the PC community right here, is that quest mods never got the traction that fucking just, oh, look, titty mod gets, or look...
On Skyrim, quest mods never got traction, but in Fallout New Vegas, quest mods were the core of the modding community, thanks to a few modders. But in Fallout 4, I'm not sure. Not many people have actually done quest mods. There's only been like 3 people who've done actual quest mods. And that's funny, because you don't need execute files to actually make quest mods in Fallout 4, so it's funny when people haven't made any Fallout 4 quest mods.
It does look really easy. I haven't even started on mine yet. That's next week, and it's like, it looks really simple when I was fucking around with the scenes and stuff now. Because you're right, you used to have to use fragments to change the scenes, and now, like, at the end of dialogue, or at the end of even scenes, but now at the end of dialogue, it's like set scene, stage 2, whatever, so you can just plow along with it, which is kind of cool.
But it's like, no, it's quite easy to make. For me, it takes longer to make. I think it would take longer to make power armor than it does to take a quest, so those in chat, it's actually quite easy to make like quest stuff.
I don't know, make a good quest, it still takes a while.
For those who are idea guys and writers, it's actually easiest it's ever been. So don't ask us to make your own.
I mean, to be fair, it's like Dragon Break 1 took 3 weeks, and then it took like 3 months to get a good voice actor for it, and then Dragon Break 2 took 17 days, and they're multiple hour mods, but it was just me and a dungeon designer working on them. And so they didn't take that long in Skyrim either. You just needed competence and actual voice actors who would come through, which was a big hassle.
So when you look for voice actors, do you make additions?
Say that again?
When you look for voice actors, do you get additions?
Yeah.
See, I don't do that. I probably look for the voice actor, and that saves much time.
That taught me a valuable lesson with voice actors, which is write the part for the voice actor if you can. Don't write a part and look for a voice actor to fit it specifically, because it took, like I said, I had one voice actress already when I did Dahlia and Alune, and that was for Alune, and then I built the polar opposite of her into Dahlia, and it took 4 months to go through auditions, and there's probably like 50-60 people who auditioned for the role. And nowadays it's like I try to find a voice actor and then write a role for them, because that makes it easier to write it, and then you're not dead set on something that might be impossible or long term to find. And I mean, it just depends on how picky you are. I mean, I know some people aren't picky on the voice acting, but my first mod was a pile of shit with voice acting, with like 2 really good voice actors, and everybody else was garbage. And then from then on out, I got pickier and pickier and pickier with the voice acting. I don't know. I think the hardest part is actually finding ones that fit your role and that follow through, because that's why I started paying them. So I'm paying voice actors for Tina's Cookie Apocalypse. It's like, if you pay them, shit comes through. So yeah, it takes money out of my fucking pocket to do it, but then I'm not frustrated for 2 months like trying to get 5 lines from some fucker who never responds to an email. So sorry to all the voice actors out there, but yes, that is a decent chunk of you for the freelance ones. Alright.
I'm still not looking forward to that.
Just run, Roy. Just run like a Patreon or something and get money to pay the voice actors. Like, that's my best recommendation. Actually, yours is popular enough. You might find enough people with decent mics to do it. Sadly, it's the hard question. No, there's no way to fix the fucking main story, guys. That main story is just bad. Like Baby Sean, Baby Sean, Baby Sean. Wah.
It's just the main character. You run out of lines. Even if you have 13,000 lines, you're still going to have this person who wants this child back. You can't ever have a silent protagonist who says, "No, I don't really love the child anyway, so I'll just go. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me." So.
I wonder if they would just inject it and play a super mutant, so every time we get to dialogue, there's only one option: me kill you or something, and then just
yeah, change it to use Strong's voice instead, so that the protagonist is
like that.
You
just play your way through the game, bashing people's heads in.
That would be fun. I would enjoy that. I've always wanted to play a Fallout game as like a super mutant or a ghoul or something.
You know Diamond City, when Mayor McDonough says, "You look like Diamond City material." I remember when Patient was testing the Enclave XO2 on stream and walked into Diamond City, and Mayor McDonough's like, "You look like Diamond City material, come on."
Freaking super mutant. So that'd actually be fun. Like, just do your own little world space where you just play, like, you know, not Goat Simulator, but Super Mutant Simulator, and your job is just to run around and kill everybody just non-stop.
Yeah, your job is to run around and rip the arms off humans for dinner. You know, that would be great. I would totally get into that.
You only level up by how many corpses you've eaten or some shit. Like, just make it. You have to actually pick up. Can you actually detect the corpses when they move? Like, so your job is to actually hoard corpses in a big pile, and that's how you get experience. So you'll be carrying them back.
Oh yeah, you have to like fill up the gore sacks and the cages with skeletons and bodies and stuff. That would be great. That's a great idea for a small quest mod right there.
Live another life, super mutant style. Oh wait, like it wouldn't be the best. Actually, what you should do is you just put a randomizer in it. So like you spawn and it's just like a mini game, like live a life as a super mutant, and then like one of those, like you have a 10% chance to just spawn as a super mutant suicider, so your life is over like first time you find an enemy.
That'd be great. You have to go to Diamond City and blow everybody up. You know, it's just like
Your mission is to make it from here to Diamond City without being killed, because you're only every time you hit the attack button, it just drops the nuke and you die. Like that's what your goal is. Make it like a Hitman that you gotta take out the hits on people, so you're just like super mutant. Actually, fuck,
Hey, that's a good idea.
I'm putting that into Tina's Cookie Apocalypse. Fuck it. It's just gonna be like it spawns you as a super mutant suicider somewhere in the wasteland, and you've just gotta go find your target. Like you have to take him out, and everything you do blows up the bomb, and you've only got like 300 hit points. It's just gonna be like immersive running simulator. It's gonna be like fucking Far Cry Primal.
Like Crunk's bitch boyfriend or something, and Crunk wants Deathclaw for dinner. So.
Like, I'm just wondering how there's so many super mutants when, like, I swear to God, 15% of them just blow themselves up when I meet them. Like, how are they still running around, guys? Like,
yeah, it's been like 200 years. It's how are they still reproducing when they can't? I don't. And they never established that there's FEV virus in the Commonwealth. So where are they coming from?
Can't make more of them, right?
But it still makes no sense, though.
Well, the Institute
program.
They're made by the Institute.
Well, that and the Master made a whole bunch over in fucking California, right? California?
Yeah, there was Vault 87, and then the Institute tried making them, which was a good idea.
These aren't, what's it called? I'm forgetting, Mariposa mutants.
Yeah.
And not 87 mutants. They're Institute mutants, which I guess the Institute may have gotten samples from 87. But even then, it doesn't make sense as to why there's so goddamn many and they keep respawning, because the program was canceled.
Yeah, especially when Virgil didn't even fully mutate. And he was the guy that was running the thing. It's like, okay, well, how can he be a failure? And then yet there's hundreds of them out there.
So new easy mod to explain this. Who wants to voice a super mutant saying "Hail Hydra"?
Not me.
You cut off its head, 2 more super mutants appear. That's pretty much how it works.
I can't do a super mutant. Maybe you could ask some guy,
I just want to just Hail Hydra. Actually, you should just make it when you kill a super mutant. If you don't decapitate him, he just respawns with another super mutant. For some melee playthrough, there's so many stupid mods you can do. I swear to God, I'm doing that Suicider one. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off, though, because if the player isn't loaded behind them, I'm going to have to do it how I was doing it. Oh, it's going to be fucking terrible. Like, I'm just going to have to keep moving the player invisibly and invulnerably, like, underneath the world behind them as they run, like, non-stop. It's fucking retarded. Like, you can set the player controls to somebody else, but if what you're controlling runs outside of the loaded area, it'll only load what's around your actual NPC, your player.
Do like Fallout 3 and just make them an armor, and then you can wear the super mutant as a piece of armor.
Make the player essential, and when they blow themselves up, yeah, you can probably do that.
Just make the mutant a power armor frame. It's got closer proportions, anyways.
No, you just set the player scale to 1, and then make it so the armor is, or 0.1, and then make it so the armor is 10 times the size, so then when they put it on, they're a normal-sized super mutant. Just run around.
Oh, Peyton, before you got here, that was my idea. We were gonna, strip down Valentine and put him as an AI in your armor. And so he's like a guy who talks to you all the time.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, it's just like you skinned him and you wore him as a Valentine. But no, just think about it. Like, you could have a quest that Valentine gets broken. Like, he's already half fucked anyways, right? You take out his AI and you put him in your as a mod in your helmet. So then he's talking to you like companions do, and you go into stupid places. See what I mean?
Like crazy lore detective Cortana.
Same thing that they already have, right? He's following around.
And then you can get really inside of him.
It'd be really funny though, because if you had that and then started playing Far Harbor, hey, let me talk to your friend there.
Get creepy like.
I'll kind of break it right there.
I'm in you, Nick Valentine.
And not how you think.
I really wish they expanded upon that tiny little sequence when Kellogg takes over Valentine.
Spoilers! No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, from like 30 minutes into the game.
Are you kidding me? I didn't go see Nick Valentine until like 35 hours into the game or some shit. Like, I was like,
Dude, I
meh.
got lost.
Kellogg was such a missed opportunity. They totally should have made it so you could take him as a companion. I really think that.
Yeah, there could have been so much more there. I agree.
I don't even remember.
Had he was a voice actor that didn't sound like he ate a bottle of Valium before doing his job.
That's what I'm saying. It's literally like they fucking give all the voice actors goddamn antidepressants. Like they're just sitting around going, I don't know, voice line. Well, I mean, by the time you voice the same, the 43rd character, you probably do get tired of voice acting. I will give the voice actors credit for that.
I was actually happy to in the DLC when I heard some of the voice actors from New Vegas. It was like, all right, you guys got some talent finally.
Somebody pointed out to me because I'm doing that whole Tiny Tina bullshit. They're like, her voice actors does voices in the game. I'm like, so I fucking look it up, and then I look up the three. She voiced 3 people. They're all boring as shit. I'm like, god damn it! Like, talk about a missed fucking opportunity. One of them.
That's a totally missed opportunity.
Like,
Tiny Tina as like some kind of psycho, in the game that would just be off the hook. Dude, why didn't they do that?
I'm having fun with it. I'm even mocking the fact that Bethesda won't let us harm children in my fucking Quest mod because there's a back and forth because Zalder, the quest line is basically the synths are replacing all the chocolate chip cookies in the Commonwealth with oatmeal and raisin cookies because they want people to be healthy. So
of course,
Tina loses her shit and she wants you to go and kill them all. So you're gonna go and fuck with them and kill them off. And toward the end, like there's back and forth. Like if the player doesn't want to take action at certain points, I'm just letting Tina ramble on or whoever's there ramble on. And there's one point where Tina's trying to tell you to kill off the main bad guy synth, and he's trying to appeal to you for what good it will do the Commonwealth if they make everybody healthy and it'll help diabetes and shit. And Tina's gonna be like, well, I got drugs and I got chems and caps, bitch. And then like there's a back and forth between her and the synth. If you sit there for like 3 minutes, they'll just keep going back and forth, and near the end, like the synth will just be like, she'll be asking the synth like, "What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now, bitch? You can't do anything to me." And he's like, "You could go and apprehend this child," and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, you can't do violence to children, bitch. I win." And he's just gonna be like, "Oh shit," and then just start shooting the player because it's like you have no option. Like I can't make you go like kill Tina. She'd kill your ass anyway. You know, you fucking Tina. The exploding Brahmin's gonna be a nice touch. I'm going to withhold the fact that I don't want the exploding Brahmin to fall from the sky screaming Muhammad Jihad. I'm going to hold that back so I don't get a reason from the Nexus.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Like, you might even be able to license cows with guns just for that.
Cows with guns. I was just going to teleport him in and drop him from the sky and have him explode when they hit the ground.
Yeah, like I said, Witcher already did it.
Exploding cows.
Falling from the sky.
Oh. I just remember Dragon Age Inquisition when the one guy was like hurling goats at your wall with a catapult. That shit was great. That fucking, like, it was a statement of protest, so I had him killed. Like, that was the funny. I love that option. I was like, because they're like, he was hurling goats at your wall. Like, it was just because you killed off, like, his brother or some shit. And then, like, give you the option. Like, you can just let him go free, you can put him in prison, or you can kill him. I'm like, yeah, kill him. Fuck him.
I made him go to Winter. Is there a problem?
You guys ever remember those controversial commercials for Outpost.com? Hi, we're going to fire these gerbils out this cannon through the O and Outpost. And send complaints to... They battled out with Amazon. Amazon won, so they went under, but they... And one of them was, hi, we want someone to remember our name, so we've got the marching band, and to make it really memorable, we got some ravenous wolves to eat them. Rah! You remember that? No?
Nope.
I don't recall that one. I've seen other strange things like that, though.
Yeah. No, the Outpost.com is the iconic one, but there's a bunch of them like, hi, we're out to spread our name, so we went to preschoolers to tell them, and to make it memorable, we tattooed our name on their forehead. There's like all these kids crying and Outpost.com tattooed on the forehead. They're all Googling it now. I just can tell.
I love troll commercials.
No, but that was the whole marketing thing was like, and at the very end, send complaints to Outpost.com. So people would just go there and just, it was like Amazon.
Any publicity, even bad publicity is good publicity, basically.
Yeah, I think there was only about maybe 3 or 4 commercials, but the biggest was, we're going to fire these gerbils through this cannon, through the O and Outpost. fire. Little guys, fire. You know what
I really,
and then they see the gerbil run away, so it's like safe.
I really hate comments on Nexus. God damn it! It's fucking deleted, 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 deleted. Jesus Christ! This is why I hate. This is why I hate people who are like, it's just words on the internet. Just ignore them. I'm like, yeah, but the fact is that it gets me a notification. I go to read it. I've just wasted 30 seconds to a minute of my life on some dipshit. And that happens, 100 times a day. Yeah, you'll start to get fucking annoyed after a little while.
That's how I feel about the Skype. I go, oh, someone Skype me. Oh no, it's that fucking ranting bullshit. How do I hide that? I can't mute that shit.
Our Skype chat is retarded. Yeah.
Skype
You can mute it though. I did that.
It's another commercial.
Oh, this is why you don't respond to me anymore, Mystic. Jesus.
You can mute the Skype chat, but it will still alert you if someone sends a file.
I know, it drives you at the freaking wall. It's gonna leave the conversation just
wait, like this? File. Bloop.
Hey, at least you don't get kicked.
I messaged Peyton earlier, and he probably hasn't got it because he thinks it's just spam from the other thing.
Oh, dude, I'm in like 500 messenger rooms. I just got it.
Just got it.
Darren sends me messages. I'm like, oh yeah, it's him. Fuck, I thought it was somebody. It's Eleanor for her 15th little screenshot of her fucking little dog.
My messages are fun things like, hey Blue, let's just make a cinematic level quality Protoss power pylon for Fallout, because
yeah.
I'm insane.
Hey, at least you didn't ask me to make you a pony girl mating stall.
I wanted Dinky the dinosaur though, and you don't want to make Dinky the dinosaur. Yeah. Fuck you.
Well, one, the pictures that you showed me, T-Rex didn't stand up like that.
That's exactly how he stands up, and you just shoot out his mouth. You could build a player home inside of Dinky.
Is that my keyboard?
No, that's Mystic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's old and loud.
Turn them all off globally. The silence is golden. See, Mystic hates us. She,
I never liked Skype, to be fair, and then it was like, oh, we're in the Skype chat. I'm like, all right, yes. And then I got so annoyed because it just wouldn't stop.
Well, we're thinking, we've been talking about doing a Discord at some point, because the Discord ones apparently have like channels and shit, which are better.
I've been using it for it's pretty good.
Yeah, and apparently you can also do like voice chat.
A lot more manageability. Like you could be part of the Discord server, and then you have a bunch of different channels, and like talking about memes. I don't need to be a part of that. Mute that shit.
No, Vertigo. What I'm bitching about is like this one was the usual on Craftable Castle wall patch. These walls are so goddamn hard to place, and like post a screenshot, and the motherfucker's trying to place it from inside the fucking castle on the flat wall. It's like, Jesus Christ, no wonder it's like I can't even fucking place it there. Like I've watched people on videos take like 20 minutes to place the fucking castle wall from the inside, and I'm like, how did they even do that? Like you shouldn't even be able to get the node to snap from the inside. Like that's actually impressive. Like you guys managed, like you could have just spent 2 minutes watching the video to see where it got placed and placed it in 5 seconds, but your determination and stupidity is marvelous. Fucking people. And then the best ones are the comments. Like I had one guy like literally just cuss me out in the comments, like go ape shit, like just you're a fucking asshole, you can't place this shit, blah 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 blah. And then like he responded to his own comment 10 minutes later. Oh, I watched the video. I got it to snap really easy. You guys should all watch the video. No, I just put it there because I like you guys watching me. I don't know. Fucking.
I love it when I get the comments. It's like, could you make a video showing how to use FNV 4GB? And I put a video in the video tab like a year and a half ago or something like that.
Oh, nobody looks at that video tab, dude. I will not put videos in the video tab. Like they don't know how to check it. Normal users will not check that shit.
Hopefully,
teach them to do it.
What was that?
Hopefully, with the site redesign, that stuff will be like in big shiny, like red buttons that blink and stuff, so that the morons can see it.
That needs to be the donation button.
Yeah.
You mean the redesign that's been?
Oh, that's it. You don't get banned again.
I can say it on here. Donate to mod authors, fuckers. The donate button's in the top right of the fucking page. Right out there.
That's a good thing to talk about. I got harassed yesterday to give people my PayPal. I don't like doing that, as you are very well aware. But, you know, they went on about it for about 10 minutes. So I was like, okay, fuck it. Here you go. I've made in total, minus your donation, around $70. I got $35 over the course of 10 years and like $40 yesterday. So all they need is the link. They need to know.
And I agree with like Robin's defense on that one was it's right next to the fucking endorse button. They can just see it. People don't have any problem hitting that. I'm like, yeah, they do. 90% of people don't hit the fucking endorse button. So
they hit the endorse button when you download something else and it nags you with the little thumbs up thing. That's when they hit it. And something that I think with the donation button is I don't want people having my personal information. So I've asked before that, you know, hey, can you make it so that we can put our own link in there, you know, so we can use like Twitch alerts or whatever to filter that?
Just set up a dummy PayPal account. You can
I don't want people having my personal information, especially these people that come onto the Nexus and leave comments like they do. I don't want those people knowing who I am. Thank you very much.
My favorite is the fact that people ask for my email address and I'm just like shocked because I'm like, well, let's see. My Nexus profile is DD Productions 83. My Bethesda profile is DD Productions 83. Even my Lover's Lab profile is DD Productions 83. My fucking YouTube is DD Productions 83. What the fuck you think my email is, bitch?
Hey, when I wanted to find you, I had to like post a comment on your fucking video, man.
Just punch in DD Productions 83 and take a wild guess. Like just
I still can't find you on Steam.
Right, I got it.
Oh, Steam, I'm not. Steam, that's the actual one place. That account is really old, actually. That's like day one Steam bullshit account.
You know, I don't think those people are actually that involved in looking because I haven't gotten a phone call yet. People will find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything else. They visit my website, but no one's called me.
We can fix that.
Well, I mean, if they bothered to pay attention, it's kind of at the top of my page.
Vertigo, personal information PayPal gives out is your email address, basically. It gives out, and sometimes, like, no, it'll give out the person donating's address or whatever they filled in, but I don't think it does it for the person who's getting donated to.
Not anymore. No. It gives you your full name, your address, your yeah. They don't bother to hide anything, and you can't turn it off.
Yeah, which is I keep getting so many people surprised. Yeah, I'll blow it. I have a policy. Like if you're the military, don't donate to me. I'm gonna return your fucking donation. But there's so many of them that are surprised. How'd you know I was in the military? Dude, it gave me your entire fucking information, bro. Not to mention you just emailed me from @navy.gov.
What are they doing that on government time anyway? It's
yeah, don't donate on government time, bitches.
From Afghanistan.
That internet connection probably costs like $2,000 a minute.
I doubt they're donating to mods from Afghanistan and Iraq.
No, I meant in the USA it costs that much. I mean, you remember $800 toilet seats?
No, it's an $800 hammer.
$1,000 toilet seat, $800 hammer. Remember that?
Yes, that was it. Sorry, I was drinking coffee. I remember that. That was.
Big deal about that. Well, that's why SpaceX took off. It's like, no way NASA's just smoking it. It just doesn't cost that much to ship stuff into space. It's expensive, but it's not NASA expensive.
Well, the difference with NASA is that they actually do their own research, so it's not like the government where they hire, you know, Boeing and everybody else to do it for them.
Yeah. Is that the people that don't go into space anymore?
Well, I think that was because of the Cold War ended. We didn't really have a race. I mean, it's not like Poland can into space. I mean,
that's right, because Russia won that race. because they still have stuff that goes into space.
Not to mention, we kind of cut the budget for it.
Yeah.
Not very important to us, apparently.
No, we're good. No, hey, we got Bill Nye, head of the Planetary Society. We're gonna really rock that now.
Elon Musk is going to Mars in 8 years, guys. Just give it time.
Oh yeah, he posted that the other day, didn't he? Bugger.
It did.
That's because government programs don't work.
Can we send Kane West to the sun?
Who?
Kanye.
He's on a Kanye quest to do his Kanye best.
Kanye Quest.
Kanye back from the sun.
There should be a children's show called Kanye Quest starring Kanye West.
I'm looking forward to Elon Musk solving all the world's problems because he's doing, you know, the fucking what the fuck they called it, the stupid maglev rail between here and Sacramento. He wants to do from LA to Sacramento, like space program.
He's just landing old rockets. He's just saving rockets. So that's all he's doing.
Go to Mars. Smart publicity.
Which rockets? The ones from Armadillo Aerospace that failed?
I don't know. Someone told me. He's been landing rockets on rafts on the middle of the sea, which I suppose is kind of cool.
3 times.
3 times.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like kind of cool, but it's not like cool, but it's like kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
Well, part of a bigger picture.
He's only doing it billions of dollars cheaper than the government does when they launch and land one.
It's like when I post a mod video, it's like, that's kind of cool, but like, it's not cool. It's kind of cool.
Hey, I posted those pylon videos and they're just like fat material now. Screw it. Too much of a nerd.
Those crystals came out
It took
nice.
forever to get the shader down right.
Dude, fucking, this is so annoying.
Wow.
I hate NIFs. I hate goddamn fucking creation kit. Like,
Well, I'm glad you guys got the color down right. That was kind of jarring at the end.
I know it was all about the smoothness or something. It was.
yeah, it was the material maps. It was like the smoothness, the Fresnel power, and the whatever the fuck else. Like that was like like fucking with that. Even changing those values by like 0.2, 0.3 made massive differences in how the metal looked.
Yeah.
But I had to explain to them the Fresnel effect. Like, how do you explain that to somebody that you don't have a diagram? It's like, you know.
I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to change it by 5, see what happens, then change it down by 3 and see what happens, and I'll just explain it to myself.
What, 2 hours in Skype? We were sitting there just try it,
nope, that looks like shit, try it again.
No, still looks like shit.
I forgot I probably could have just kept changing the material and just reloaded, like not reloading the game, but like actually I could have just kept reloading the game and it would have reloaded the NIF. I just kept rebooting, it was so annoying.
Can you actually hotload models and textures into the game?
You should be able to, yeah. I've never done it, but you should have been able to do it since Skyrim.
If you can, then I'm a dumbass, and that would make my life so much easier.
Look, there is a way to do it.
Update 3D on it.
What's up?
Can't you just use update 3D on after clicking on it in the console?
Is that a valid command?
It was in New Vegas, yeah.
Really?
Today's education is how to mod.
We have no idea what we're doing. That's just the biggest thing to take away from these streams is we don't know what we're doing.
I always adjusted iron sights by just, switching from one weapon and back after editing it, and it would reload the NIF every time. So it probably works similarly.
Well,
pretty much. If the geometry is not in the GPU's cache, then it'll unload and reload.
Yes, it does actually, Dogtooth. I just realized that because anytime I throw the pylon anytime I throw it in the workbench and then I replace it, it reruns the onload. So it is just reloading the 3D. So I could throw it in the fucking workbench and then I could have made the change to the NIF and then just replaced it. So yeah, it does. It just keeps reloading it.
I think
so stupid testing. Huh?
Pylon's too small.
Basically, scrap it and replace it, and it'll reload the 3D. That's all you need.
I have wasted so much time.
I wasted so much time doing that stuff too until I figured out you could do that.
I can't imagine what your load times are either, Peyton. I'm like, I get pissed at the 15-second load screen. I'm just like, God damn it.
I don't compress any textures until we start getting ready for release. So normally I'm dealing with like 4K, 32 bits per pixel, totally uncompressed on Power Armor. So a minimum of 3 textures per texture set with 4 or 5 texture sets, all streaming without bitmaps at 4K. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why
Darren, guess what?
Since
Since it's been upgraded, I can now give you 8K textures.
Yeah, well, I still can't export 4K very well. So,
Well, they say experimental on it.
yeah, beta.
I was gonna say,
Darren, your audio volume went way down.
What happened? Hello.
Oh, it came back.
Talking over them.
Yeah, no. If somebody else is talking, it generally starts to like dull people. The Zoom client does it a little bit. It's a little weird. I was just gonna say, Black Sage, how much would you pay for a modding class? Because it'd be like the blind leading the blind, but I'm only like 90% blind.
Well,
Start charging for modding classes. That'd be awesome.
I mean, that'd be kind of a cunt thing to do, but I mean, nobody really knows what the fuck they're doing. Even in professional work, people still.
Bethesda doesn't know what they're doing, guys. Come on.
Like,
Well,
the problem.
Larsmore knows what he's doing.
The problem with a modding class was that day 1, lesson 1, you'd have to be in physical proximity, because the first day I would just beat the shit out of you. And if you came back the second day, then you might actually make it, you know, just maybe beat the shit out of you that day, you flip a quarter, like maybe it's 2 days of getting the shit beat out of you, and then you start learning to mod. Because you got to make sure you can get the shit beat out of you.
It's like the kung fu, wait outside my door for 3 days and then I'll let you in.
That's about it. It's like that. Like you gotta have patience and not want to kill yourself. Like if you have any type of suicidal tendencies ever, any history of that, do not mod. You will be dead very
These
soon.
guys have never seen kung fu. Like that's before their time.
No, kung fu. Everybody's seen kung fu. God damn it.
I bet most guys have never heard of it. They probably don't even know. Like, where's the beef? Like they don't know.
$20 for a 20-hour series of modding classes. That sounds about right. Fucking $1 an hour. That's my life right there.
Best rate ever.
Roy, you've been streaming nav meshing. Yeah, that's like intense shit. Like click, click. I was surprised. I was getting like 15 to 20 something people watching me edit form lists and fucking Xedit. I'm like, are you like the most boring people on the fucking planet? Like, what are you doing?
When I do stuff in Xedit, people actually stick around and watch that, but they don't when I do stuff in GEG.
That's weird.
Yeah, well, I guess they just maybe doing the form lists and stuff is useful to them, because they can figure out how to patch their load orders. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they're probably just watching to try and garnish some information. I don't see a lot of people actually streaming mod work, so when they do, it's kind of rare.
I warned people when I was fixing my elevators. It took like 45 minutes to fix my fucking elevators. So I was asking John if there was a way to batch do it, because I was like, I didn't realize that the you know, just in case you guys don't know, when you're using a BS lighting shader or whatever, and you use a material, if you have something wrong in the wet texture part, even though it's never going to run it, it will throw up an error in game and in the CK. So yeah, I had copy pasted all of those before I realized it wasn't copy pasting the text strings correctly. So all of the fucking wets were just pointing at like random shit like BSX and fucking CPA nodes and shit. So it took forever to fix that crap. Like people were just sitting there watching it. I'm like, I'm literally just being like, click, click, backspace, enter, click, click, backspace, enter, click, click, backspace, enter, like for a fucking hour.
That sounds like when I was making the flags.
What was that, Zalder? Well, yeah, that's the flags. When I was transferring them to the polls, it was so goddamn boring.
You just click the same buttons like 100 times, over and over and over.
Well, I did the floating combat text crap, and I actually made like 250 or whatever number nifs, And so I was batch making them in 3ds Max. So I would export a NIF that was like 5 megs big, and it would have like numbers 1 to 100 in it. So I actually yelled at John and saw it sit, because I was doing copy node and paste over, but there's no hotkeys for that in NIFscope. So I was right-clicking copy, right-clicking paste. So I'm like, God damn it, John, why isn't there a fucking copy paste for this or whatever? And he like does it in 2 minutes and sends it to me, like a new NIFscope version. And I'm like, oh, thank Christ. Still fucking took
that reminds me, I forgot to download that.
If you did the newest version, it'll be in the newest version.
Well, I don't want to wait.
Wait, okay, John said smoothness is just a multiplier on the specular smoothness map, so white from specular equals 1.0, smoothness 0.5. I don't fucking even know what that means, John. I just punch numbers in and watch what it changes in the game.
Hey, Darren, copy-paste that over to me.
He said, also, I've never witnessed the Fresnel power do anything whatsoever under the lighting situation. It does. It does in the game, though, John. It does. It fucking did something. I had to lower it to, like, almost nothing to make our metal work right. Same with rim power. So he's rimming now. Hold on, let me copy this to you, bro.
I gotta go, guys. So, it was nice.
All right,
We're losing all the pretty.
Bye, Mystic.
Bye-bye.
See you, Mystic. Let me copy-paste this over here. There you go.
Thanks.
Jeez, Darren, you're late to the party.
What?
Oh, wait. Oh, stream notifications.
Oh, there it is.
I was going to say I sent it on Skype, but...
Yeah, I just got it. I was like, oh, Darren sent it. Oh, no.
Oh, he put it in the fucking... Or we put it in the chat here, too.
Oh, okay, that makes it's only 0 to 1. That's why point whatever made a big difference, because that's 10%.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
He's highly defensive and complains he can't get drunk anymore. Who is?
What?
Oh, apparently Naf can't get drunk anymore.
That's sad, man.
The drugs I take. This is a good chat.
What the fuck are you on about?
I don't know, I'm just reading the chat. I'm like, I don't know how I'm like, I don't, people like, it's like he's only mildly offensive. Like, compared to me, everybody's fucking Mother Teresa.
Well, you're not bad in, like, live chats. You're horrendous on your YouTube videos.
Gee, I need to make more, though. Did you see that shit? That thing fucking had
Yes.
25,000 views. I just need to keep doing that shit.
Well, I think that one was very good. Like, I'm not a big fan of generalizing and calling people console peasants, but your point itself was fucking spot on. You know, it kind of warranted the name calling, I guess you would call it. Because the situation is completely fucked. You know, they may not be fucked people because they're console peasants, but they're fucked people. Their attitude and their actions is absolutely abhorrent. And so I think calling them out on that, like you did, was totally appropriate.
He doesn't do rant videos anymore because that's where I found him.
I don't do rant videos anymore because I was too busy fucking modding to do shit. I actually like finally got a little bit pissed off, and it was just, I think I was more pissed off that the dude's like literally just bragging about that shit. I'm like even the most like dim-witted low power moderator on the Nexus would have banned this guy by this point. Like he's sitting there like, I stole the shit, fuck you, like why are you still here? Like fucking A. It's a political statement, especially asking for donations for your work.
Yes, that's political. Okay, Hillary Clinton.
I'm like, I'm running for office, apparently. Vote Darren Trump.
No, he claimed the asking for donation part was a joke.
The what part was a joke?
The asking for donations
Oh yeah,
part.
that was a clear
according-
joke. Especially when somebody said they would do it, and what was his email, and he gives it to the guy so he can get Xbox Live shit. Like, yeah, that was a clear joke, bro.
Hey guys, did you know that Archie Bunker and Donald Trump are the same person?
I think.
No.
I want to see them not name a vice president candidate, because the president can actually pick their vice president after they've been elected if they wanted to. So I want to see them both like pick a vice president candidate, and then whichever one of them loses picks the other one as their vice president, because that would just be like the best fucking 4 years.
Trump's already picked his judges, so he's probably going to pick a vice president sooner or later. And it's like, I've been watching all these conservative bloggers, and they're just like, Trump is the worst. And then Trump practically announces his judges, and they're like, These are okay. I'm behind him now.
I just want to see Milo Yiannopoulos as press secretary. I think that would be the best thing to ever happen.
Yeah.
Could you
I just don't
imagine
want
what the
Hillary.
press would do, Zelda, if he's literally just calling them all like fucking cunts and liars, and that
It would be amazing.
he's a faggot and loves it, and just like they're asking him questions about Trump, and he's saying how much he likes black dick. Like that would be the best press. Dude, actually, people would watch the fucking press shit on like the presidential press secretary crap. It'd be great.
I don't think I would watch anything if Trump said what he liked in reference to that.
Hey, Cheryl.
Now, I'm sorry I left earlier, but I didn't want to bug you guys with noob questions. I couldn't get anything to work. I just had to reinstall drivers. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I came earlier and I'm like,
it's usually just click and play, and it works really well. Like it picks up everything you've got, like if it's installed correctly.
yeah, well, it must not have been because I got static. I couldn't hear you, and I'm like, yeah, I need to fix something. Unlike the user that came to my PM this afternoon and said, hey, I have to use your mod now. Like, he has to. Like, he's entitled to another option, but he doesn't have one. And he says, I've got to use it now, and I don't see anything in my settlement menu at all. Everything's invisible. There's no textures. There's no icons. And so I said, well, now, of course, I hope he's not watching this because I was patronizing him. But I said, well, gee, I don't know. Gee, if you have no meshes or textures, you know, I don't provide those. Maybe your mod isn't installed right. And I sent him off to the author because I don't really know. But I'm pretty sure that he just didn't install the mod right.
It can't be that. They can't have installed it wrongly. Impossible.
If anybody's wondering, Charlocran is settlement keywords expanded, among other things.
Fallout 4 edit, Test 5 edit, right flash, right bash, right smash. I don't do a lot with loot and boss. But
And
that's
probably going to be the way too nicest person in this stream.
Nicest? I'm pretty condescending and terse if people ask me dumb questions.
Yeah, but you just walked in at the point where we were discussing political crap, and you like missed us insulting people.
Oh, good. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care about people, so that's great. I'm glad. If you guys got that out of your system, then.
Well, no, I was about to say that I wish I had known where Milo was talking because I really wanted to go see him on his Dangerous Faggot tour. Like, that would have been fucking... I didn't realize he was in Irvine like 2 days ago. I could have fucking been there.
To be fair, you probably would have been attacked by Black Lives Matter protesters.
Most likely.
Did you see me? You think they would have gotten very far?
Yes.
Well, you do.
I don't get
Bruce
the
Lee
fucking Trump supporters who like letting these idiots tackle them and shit. That's like a skinny. Like they wouldn't attack me though. That's the problem. They're going after the people who are smaller than they are and that look weaker that they can actually intimidate because that's how fucking pussy they are. Like they're not actually, when you watch those videos, they're never going up against like bigger guys and shit or people who actually look intimidating. They're going after the fucking tiny people. Like,
Well, of course, because they're scum.
There you go. My favorite thing I don't know if you noticed it, but they were victim blaming today. Hillary and Obama were the greatest. Like,
oh yeah, Obama. It's like you shouldn't throw eggs at people, even if they are Trump supporters.
And then he's like, they created an atmosphere where this kind of thing looks like it's deserved to be happening, but you shouldn't do that.
Have you actually watched a Trump rally before, like on YouTube or something like that?
Yeah.
It basically just talks about trade for an hour. The race thing is just.
What do we normally do at a get to know your mod or get to know?
It's completely random, dude.
We don't talk about mods at all.
We talk about how much we all support Trump, and we really want a Fourth Reich in America.
Well, I'll tell you, I skimmed over, your rant video, and I could have sworn you said something about if you have an opinion, you need to express it. And although I don't really want to get into politics, I may not disagree or agree entirely with any Trump supporting. And, you know, being that my family is all Hispanic, I mean, I'm not
so what? He doesn't want to support the fucking Hispanics unless your entire family jumped the border illegally.
Well, they didn't do that. And
then they're fine!
Years, but, you know, they got all their papers. They're all born here, except for my wife, of course. But, you know, still... I don't know.
We got an entire warehouse of Hispanics working for us. They're all voting for Trump, and multiples of them came here illegally. They're legal. There's legal now because of the Reagan fucking thing, but yeah, it's like when they did amnesty back in the late '80s. But it's like legal immigrants, I found by and large fucking hate the illegal ones, which is surprising. It actually was surprising to me when I found it out. It's like after their reasoning.
I don't know, because I kind of stay, you know, like I take my daughter to her choir recital, or I teach my sons how to do something on the computer, and if the world is going to hell in a handbasket, I generally don't pay attention to that.
I mean, that's most people. Most people actually do that, and that's why we've gotten to where we've gotten with our political system, to where we've got walking meme and lying snake woman. Like, those are our voting choices. Our crazy doddering old man. He's actually starting to degrade. It's getting funny. I'm kind of like, well, I wish Bernie had been in the race now. Like, that actually might have been interesting.
I probably should pay a little bit more attention to politics, but I didn't even know what the hell crazy meme and snake women were, so that shows you how much I'm detached from that social media genre.
My viewpoint, personally, like Vertigo says, you get to know Darren's opinions on everything. I just want the whole system to burn. Like,
yeah, you probably have let's say, I'm just guessing here, but like say 5,000 people watch a video, so that's 0.00002 rounded up % of the population of the United States. So no, I don't know that people really know your opinion, but they probably should.
No. You asked what we do in the Get to Know Your Live off the stream. Vertigo said we get to learn my opinion on everything, basically, because I'm outspoken and I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. See, again, I'm so detached from the meme, whatever you meant thing. I know what a Vine is, though.
I pulled a Darren in the bank the other day. I'm talking with my dad, and we're the only one in the bank besides the tellers. And I say, look at my phone. I said, Dad, if you were dating this chick, you'd wring her neck. And the ladies behind the counter fucking lost it on me. I was like, holy, you think you're self-righteous shit and shove it, I said. Like, they were like, oh, you said that. And I was like, what? I didn't say, like, go home and punch her in the face or anything. Like, wring her neck. Like, that's just a saying, right? Like, oh, they lost it. I couldn't believe it.
I didn't realize what day it was today. It's my dad's birthday. And and so my father-in-law sends me a text this morning. Have you called your father yet and wished him happy birthday? I'm like, what the fuck? Now I'm getting shit from my fucking father-in-law. I was like, no, I didn't even know what day it was. So I try calling my mom. I get no answer. And he's like, well, you should call them. I just tried. They don't know what a cell phone is. Like, literally, they both have cell phones. They leave them everywhere. They fucking, I tried to explain to my mom. I'm like, look, it literally can just go in your pocket. It's tiny. Like, it doesn't. Fucking leaves it everywhere. But then he goes, well, try just being a respectful son. I'm like, yeah, I fail at that. And then he's like, well, you should try to not fail. And I was like, yeah, but I don't give up on anything. I'm persistent. It's like I was just trolling my father-in-law this morning.
So you're persistent at failing?
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't want to quit on something if you're in the middle of it.
Oh, Jesus.
So until they're dead,
that's what your father-in-law was saying, I guess he should give you kudos for being committed.
That's what he said. He said tenacity is actually a good trait.
Yeah. There you go. I missed it.
I don't know. I don't like my poor parents though. Like you said, pulling a Darren. It's just saying whatever the hell I want. Like my mother was crabbing about my sister's child, her boy, and she's like, he just wants attention, even if it's negative attention, and they don't do anything right with him. And I just looked at her and I was like, yeah, you never had a son like that. I was like, you just need to tell Heather, my sister's name, I was like, you just need to tell her that you learned for 24 years how to do everything wrong with your kids, so now you can tell her how to actually raise them right. And my mother's just like it's like, what, 32 years with me, and they don't even get that I'm just going to say what I think. Like, I don't fucking understand it. But, I don't know.
Well, I can't say my parents made the best choices, but I came from a different time. I mean, discipline was different, school was different, so they just did their best job. I don't think I turned out too bad. I mean, I've worked at Intel. I worked, I got to be a DJ for a while. That was probably my funnest job.
I think my parents actually did everything right, and I turned out horribly. So, I mean, I think it just depends on the child.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know you personally, but you don't seem like a horrible person. You seem like maybe a couple of the things you say could practice some restraint. It's a free country. I don't
Restraint
really care.
is not in my vocabulary.
No, man, it's all you. But you know, so I don't know. I mean, do you really think that they did that bad? Because I believe in your rant video, you said there were people that did worse. So your parents must have.
No,
done
but
something.
I can't ever admit that on the off chance that my parents actually see or hear me say that. So I've got to wait till they're dead before I like get the eulogy. Be like, yeah,
No, you know,
they did all right.
Because one of mine is already, and the other one probably will be, and so I don't really say to myself, I'm waiting for that to happen so then I can say what I want, because I'm not going to like it when the other one is gone. My mom is still alive. His dad died a little early. He had cancer, so.
Hostess made a good question. He said,
did your
why
parents
is the reason
shoot
you
at
haven't
you? They
renamed
shot at Darren.
TES5 Edit to Fallout 4 Edit?
Wait a minute, what?
Why have you not renamed TES5 Edit exec to Fallout 4 Edit exec in the uploaded archives?
Okay. We have absolutely no reason not to rename it. And it's not like a noob filter. But it's just amazing to me that people can't rename it. So I don't know what to tell you.
I literally I end up deleting it off my desktop on accident all the time, and I download it, and then like the moment I go to click on it, I just realize, oh yeah, rename it, click. It's become habit.
Well, and once it's an actual version, a real, you know, like non-alpha, it's going to be named correctly, or I'm going to get mad.
Well,
But I don't like it.
How much more do you guys got to do in it? Because I noticed you were picking up, like, the latest version I grabbed had a whole lot of the shit in it that, you know, the shit that used to be unknowns and crap that you guys didn't have any idea about are now picked up.
I did a lot of the rough draft, like, because basically Bethesda copies the previous plugin format, so it was Skyrim basically, and so all we had to do for the rough draft when there was no construction kit was just guess and make everything work. Then Slab is actually the one that did everything recently. I didn't do a whole lot, probably 10 or 20 records. He did all the rest. And he says that enumerated values are the things he's waiting to do because they're so complex. Do you know what an enumerated value is? Probably not.
Dude, no, I don't know any. I don't even know how to mod right.
Okay, so an enumerated value is when in a mod the number is 2 or 5. And 2 means that your face will melt off, and 3 means that a flower is going to grow, or whatever. And that's why you have those drop-down menus all the time in edit. Because they're numbers, but we replace it with text.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes that's a long list of anywhere from 10 to 50 to 100 things. So
more than that when you go into the conditions tab.
yeah, the conditions is crazy. Actor values is crazy. And so Slab was saying the last time I talked to him that he wants to get those things working and have for errors work without throwing a bunch of stupid errors that don't mean anything. And then once it gets to that point, we think we'll release an actual non-alpha version.
So what are your thoughts on being the lead, one of the lead architects of hacking for mods?
What do you mean by what are my thoughts for hacking?
Does anybody have the Pete Hines quote? Anybody?
I don't know who Pete Hines is even.
Neither is me. I didn't... Pete Hines is apparently me, but in a PR position. So he says stupid shit publicly, like basically all mods made before the creation kit were hacks, which means you are one of the lead architects of hacking.
Oh, okay. No, they weren't hacks.
No. Pete Hines said so.
I know, but you can't believe everything that you hear. I mean, how many times have you heard that?
That's the PR director for Bethesda, dude. I can't.
You wouldn't lie to us.
They're all hacks. I've been hacking. You helped me hack. Now, I will admit that later he did apologize, just like my mother-in-law does, by saying, well, you're all too stupid to understand anyway, so I'm sorry I said that. Okay.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, but how am I supposed to respond to that?
John just gave me the tweet. Here, hold on. I'll put it in the chat for this thing.
Well, I'll say this, though. Okay, so the plugin format...
Hold on, he said, you aren't modding the game, you're hacking it. Mods aren't supported yet. 23rd of April.
Well, still, I mean, did he really mean that plugins were hacks, or did he mean you were just creative? I don't understand where he's coming from with that, because it doesn't.
I don't think anybody does. Like, does he know something that somebody else doesn't? Like, why does he still have his job?
Because no matter what anybody says, I get people all the time that say that they know, or they'll be talking about snip, you know, like FO4 snip or TESB snip, and they'll say in some kind of forum that whoever's talking or whoever they're quoting will say, you didn't actually develop TESB snip, so how can you comment on it? Or you didn't write FO4 edit, so how can you comment on it? And so then, I mean, I think that's the best, you know, point right there. He didn't make it. He doesn't know that the plugins are basically just reverse engineered and that we have tools to do it with. So it's not a hack. It's we're making a plugin that's compatible with it. But what I'm hating right now is that some people are posting in the FO4 edit comment section like, so I was using one of the previous versions and it was working correctly, and now I get an assertion failure and it crashes on me. And I even have in the sticky, the little sticky post, that it has been there for like, I don't know, 4 months or 3 months or however long it's been there. And I said, once the construction kit comes out, an author should actually load it and save it at least once, because as we were making plugin records,
no, that's part of why that fucking that theft of mine was particularly bad. That those ESPs are not good.
Yeah, because without the construction kit, we couldn't just make the plugin 100%.
Oh, like every keyword I ever made, I didn't realize there was that extra flag on them that was telling you there was a recipe filter. So if you actually try to load up any of my mods in the CK without changing them first in Xedit now, it doesn't load the fucking, it errors out on all the constructible objects and doesn't load them. So like you can't actually like.
I'm not really surprised. I mean,
hilarious.
That's like.
The fact that it worked in game, but it doesn't work in the engine is funny to me, I think, too.
Well, also, I think, well, let's use let's go kind of with something that you can really compare. So, if you just load your Build-A-Bear mod, it was made with the Fallout 4 ESM, but when it was for 1.4. So, your Build-A-Bear mod won't conflict with any of the decorations menus whatsoever. It's perfect. But when you load it with 1.5, it gets rid of the display cases, because that display cases, Bethesda just decided to provide us with a new ESM instead of an update. They've never done that in the past.
Wait, are you serious? Is that what actually happened? Did they give a new fucking ESM? Oh, this explains why none of my mods work for anybody with 1.5. That's funny as fuck. And I'm too lazy to update them.
I don't understand why more mod authors haven't been paying attention. I apologize. I don't try to be arrogant, but it's
no. I don't update my fucking mods. I'm an asshole. I'm just like, fuck them.
No, not you, but I mean, just all the mod authors are out there, and their users are coming to them saying, "Your mod doesn't work. It deletes this menu. I don't have the Barnes menu. I don't have this menu." And it's like, yes, because.
Well, I should probably stop calling them idiots then.
Fallout 4 ESM changed. The structures menu changed. The decorations menu changed. I don't even know all of them, because it's like I have to work on it so much I can't remember every little detail. But it all changed. Let me go to my folder. I probably have 10 different copies.
Do you know what's amazing in this? Like what we were talking about yesterday is that there's a very clean way, just with one script, it's a one shot, it injects the fucking menu that they could have done with their own DLCs. Like their own DLCs could have been way the fuck cleaner than they are. And they just decided instead to just fuck with the main ESM. Which is like just as bad as what modders do when we're being lazy.
Yeah, let me go to my thing here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 different Fallout 4 ESMs now. I have 11 if you take the 2 betas from when I was part of the CK beta. So there's 11 different versions of that file. And not every time did they change the settlement menu, but they've fixed something. And I'm surprised that they didn't make an update ESM, because now any mod that was made for one of those previous versions is totally broken. Because it's the rule of one, the winning record. Whatever the winning record is, like the bash patch, whatever mod overwrites that last record is what's going to be used, and so it's probably the record from Fallout 4 ESM from
I couldn't read it, Dogtooth.
God knows what version. So yeah, I mean, I don't think your mod, any mod author just needs to load their mod into the CK and save it at least once, because a lot of people even were trying to change the OMOD records, which are like for weapons and stuff, for the modifications, and we had even said don't change it, and there was a byte that we were either adding or 2 bytes that we were forgetting to add, and then later we had to fix it.
So basically, you just confirmed we were hacking.
Yeah, so it's like, you need to load the plugin into the construction kit to fix it. And then double check that everything's correct. And I don't understand why people argue with me. It's like, I didn't write the core program. That's still Slab.
It's because they're stupid, Charlacran.
Well, I wouldn't say stupid. I think they have a confirmation bias. And that's what really bothers me. It's like, why would you go to the source and the source tells you that you should do this? Why don't you do it? It's like when people clean their plugins or their DLC for Skyrim, they say, I cleaned 200 mods and now my game crashes. And I'm like, where did I ever tell you to do that, first of all? And how exactly did you do that? Because we say you have to open the plugin, one plugin, let it load its masters, and then you clean that one plugin. I can't think of anybody that's going to spend a week or however many days it would take to load one at a time out of 200. So don't tell me that you crashed your game. That's user error, because you probably did it wrong. And the reason you can't do that, though, has anybody ever known why you can't do that?
Why you can't do what? Have all of them loaded and try to clean things? Because the references don't get rebuilt.
Well, it's not even more the references. It's like, say that you have one record and it's been modified 10 times. Which one is the one that you're looking at for the identical to master record?
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's part of the references. I mean, not that whole database that of all that information doesn't get rebuilt every time you modify a plugin. I mean,
yeah. But it's like it's confused. There's really no way to get around that one problem of when you've got the 10 plugins modifying one record. You can't really decide that well where that identical record is coming from. And but users seem to think that we're just giving them a line of BS and just, hey, we want to make this difficult for you, and that's not it. You need to actually clean the plugin one at a time. There's a reason for it. Even Elminster, the guy who actually wrote it originally, has never come up with a way to allow it where you can have multiple plugins loaded and actually clean it accurately. He said there's no way to do it. And this guy not only is a genius as far as Delphi, but he's the lead designer for Nexus Database, which is what a lot of Delphi programs, like I think even Quicken or QuickBooks, I can't remember which one, big database type program, because they're financial software, is written in Delphi, and it uses his database software, and he wrote it. So I'm like, why would you argue with the author or us now that we've kind of picked it up? You can't do this or you can't do that. I don't understand why people do that.
Well, they do that because of that, the hand-holding thing that I keep bringing up, and is because boss or loot or whatever is going, you need to do this, and they don't know the whys or wherefores of why they need to do things, and they assume, and that's the problem, is that they assume because they don't really know. They just go, well, this person or this tool told me to do this, but it doesn't explain how to do that and do it properly. They have to go and download the FNV edit user manual or whatever, and then they go, well, what is that? That's for New Vegas. That doesn't apply to this.
Well, part of the other problem with that, though, is is what he's saying is they want confirmation, etc., whatever. But the one thing that we don't like, one of the biggest things that isn't taught very well is the asking and the wanting to know why. Wanting to know why something works will actually naturally make you better at doing it, but people get rote in what they're doing when they're modding, if you've done something that's worked in, you know, Fallout 3, now you're in Fallout 4, what you're doing might not work, but you're so set in your ways and you don't want to know why it doesn't work, you just want to know the answer right off the bat, and that's why people don't read shit. They don't read the shit because they don't want to learn, they have no inclination to learn, they want to do it the easiest possible way, which is why, as a lot of people have, you know, mentioned, I don't see it noticeable that, you know, Fallout 4 modding is kind of not as good as Skyrim was and shit. You got a lot of people who just don't want to put in the effort and learn, and then a lot of people who don't want to put in the extra effort to learn new shit because they're, you know, they've had 5 years of doing it like X, and now you've got to make all these little small tweaks, and for some people that's actually really fucking hard to do. Bethesda themselves shows us how hard it is to do because they've been using the same goddamn engine since Morrowind, and they can't be fucked to change it.
Well, when they ask a question about the scripting, they don't like to be called an idiot. So.
That's true, but they're an idiot.
Well,
if they ask a question that is on the Creation Kit Wiki scripting reference page, they're a fucking idiot.
That doesn't mean an idiot.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, yeah, it does.
Hold on. We're just going to trust Darren because he's seen it. See,
if you can Google the answers, see, I learned to mod by Googling the fucking answers. I
think so did I.
Someone can look at the wiki eventually. Sometimes they don't understand it, and sometimes they just need to get some context.
Well, that's why the best one is actually still the Skyrim Creation Kit Wiki for scripting, for starters, because that one actually has more references in it. Like, people have actually made notes, people have actually, like, put examples. The fucking Fallout one has nothing but what it seems Bethesda put in right now, which is just structure. So if it's Skyrim, the Skyrim Creation Kit Wiki is what I would recommend for people for the most part for starting out, and then take it from there to go into Fallout 4, but...
Yeah, that's how I've been learning Fallout 4. The Pirates. I've became so I would recommend it.
And if anybody takes anything I say personally, they're an idiot anyway, so it's not like I care too much.
Well, I'll agree with you.
Yeah, don't listen to Darren.
People rationalize things too many times. This person said that, and they made me angry. It didn't make me angry. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I have to tell my daughter now that she'll start to ask me questions about driving and why does this person next to us get angry that I did something, and I'm like, well, because they're rationalizing, and then I explain the whole concept, and she goes, oh, okay, makes sense. I mean, people just rationalize things too often. Nobody pisses you off, nobody makes you angry, you choose to do that yourself. I don't understand people sometimes.
I mean, I admit I'm the worst. I try to tell people I'm the worst fucking teacher for this shit because I get frustrated and I don't think linearly, so I can't. It's really hard for me to teach somebody because I'll go from step A to step 47, back to step Z, and then like I don't think in the straight patterns that you actually need to teach somebody to do something, and that's why I don't try to teach. That's why I've only got like 4 tutorial videos up total. Like it's they're fucking terrible. I'm like it took me like 7 recordings to do the follower tutorial because I'm watching it back and I'm going, oh Jesus Christ, I just went like fucking somewhere else in the middle of the video and didn't even realize it. And it's
that's why I don't do any documentation either. It's not so much that I don't want to or I'm lazy. It's that there are certain things I guess I take for granted. Like a form ID, I can't even explain that to someone because I know what it is. I understand how it gets renumbered or how it's used. It's a pointer basically to something. But I don't think that programmers in general make good documentation writers because we think in a very technical way and it doesn't translate to someone that doesn't know what they're talking about. Because people will ask me sometimes in the edit thread, what is this? And I start explaining it, and they're going, I understood like 10% of that.
Well,
that's
what pushed me into doing the...
You wanted a technical answer, you asked me an open-ended question, and then when I tell you, you don't understand, so why am I telling you in the first place?
I always appreciate it when you answered my questions.
Fucking, okay, I got it. This is actually perfect. Cat Nerd just said Didi's teaching technique is, okay, now I'm going to show you how to do something you're probably too stupid to learn on your own. That's probably about it, dude. I'm not gonna.
Well, I'm glad I actually answered a few questions. Who was it that said that I had answered a few? Because I don't answer that many.
You always answer mine. Sometimes you get a little annoyed at me, but
I get very impatient with people. That's like Darren says. He acts this way. He feels he has this kind of attitude, and I think my reputation precedes me because I'm pretty impatient all the time.
I think it's a little weird though, because a lot of us that mod are like, I was making the joke to Terror that I'm the most patient person you'll ever meet in your fucking life, except for I'm not patient when it comes to other people. Like, to mod, you've got to be a patient motherfucker. To program, you've got to be a patient motherfucker. Like, you're gonna error out. You're going to, have so many things go fucking wrong with it. But the problem is that we deal with that all the time, and then we've got to deal with people who don't understand what we're saying because we're not talking right. I mean, it's literally what it is. Like, Charles, you're right, because what made me do one of those tutorial videos was the fact that when I was looking up how to make a follower, there was tutorials on it. One of them was approximately 20-something pages of shit, like just full-on fucking web pages of like how to do everything X, Y, and Z. And I'm sitting here like, you could fucking do this in 20 minutes. Like, there's literally nothing to making this shit. Yet every tutorial I ever found was a massive fucking nightmare for anybody new getting into modding to try to read and actually decipher. And that's the problem. Is there's got to be like we know what we're doing, but when we try to explain it to somebody who's new, it literally sounds like, Chewbacca mounting a defense for a cancer patient lawsuit. Like, they don't have any fucking clue what's going on, and then it drives them off. And the majority of tutorials and shit are kind of like that, and it's hard to get around because
it makes sense.
We don't think that way. We don't,
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. We take for granted that we know what a form ID is, or we understand that this record has a sub-record, or how it works in FO4 edit. Yeah. So I could kind of see how they'd be lost in 20 pages of crap. So, but sorry for interrupting. But what did you say about that I had always answered your question? What question did I ever answer that I did a good job at? Because I do that very rarely. What did you think I had done?
That was when I first started modding like 2 years ago. I was one of those guys that came on the Xedit thing, and I was like, well, I used to be a programmer, and, I understand these things a bit more than other people. And you're like, yeah, sure you do. So I
feel kind of bad, but go ahead and continue.
I don't remember what it was. I was asking you something about something. I don't know. It might have been me trying to understand the rule of one at first because I didn't get that. And you were like, okay, well, here's the manual. Well, I want to be able to do this. And you're like, well, you can't do that because other people would break their mods or whatever if you could do that. I think it was copying as an overwrite up, which actually Zilov just made me a script to do finally, so I don't have to bug you about it anymore. I think it was something like that, and you were explaining to me why that wasn't a good idea because other people that aren't experts with the program would use it in a bad way and break their game. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, I can understand that.
Well, that's unfortunate then, because I probably still give unfortunately stupid answers like that. But
so this is a very valid point. The only way to learn is to break it, complain to the mod author on their forum about how they made a broken mod, reinstall it, break the mod and your game, blame the mod author on the forum again, then reinstall and realize what you did wrong and never apologize.
No. It's just weird. Sometimes when I hear things like 2 years ago you said, and I probably said that, and it's just unfortunate.
Did you want to know something funny too, Cheryl? I was just realizing, like,
it's not a dangerous thing to do. It makes it sound like I told you that if you use copy as override, you're going to break your mod, and that's just not true. So I wish I knew what I had actually said or what the context was, because I use copy as override all the time. But I do, once I do it, if it's supposed to be that way, I leave it. If it's something that I need to renumber, then I renumber it. I do know a lot of people like to merge things. Like, they want to merge 50 plugins, and it actually can break things pretty easy if you don't do it right. So maybe the context had to do with the merge patch or merging plugins, do you think?
Yeah, it was like that, but I'm using it from an author standpoint. Gek breaks things when you edit stuff, so I always edit. I use my main mod as a master, and I edit an ESP, and then I use FNV edit to merge my changes into the master, because Gek just breaks things. It does things randomly, like changing the half bounds extents on things, and and it's really frustrating to go back and fix that. So I wanted a copy as overwrite instead of override, which means that I could take any changes to in my ESP and overwrite the ones in the master with those changes.
So you wanted to take mod A, which was an ESP file, and it is the actual plugin, if you will, and the ESM file, or the master file, you want to copy, instead of from the master to the child, you want to copy from the child to the parent. So
yes, exactly, because I'm making my modifications in the ESP instead of the ESM, and I want to copy those changes into the ESM, rather than editing it directly with power up, and breaking a whole lot of stuff in the process, especially if I have like dead money. If I have dead money as a master and that's your only master, the Gek does weird things like replace all of the Caucasian races with Christine or the holograms. It changes the voice types and stuff, and that can be incredibly frustrating to go back and have to fix afterwards. So that's why I always edit in an ESP and then merge up into my master file.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you're not trying to change dead money ESM, then I think that's a logical step to go. And sorry, I didn't word it.
Yeah. It's working on my own mod, not actually modifying, official DLC or anything.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I think I get lost in those little nuances of, I want to copy from the child to the parent, and I think of all of the things that you could do to break that, and I get off track. That's another reason why I say I don't think programmers make great documentation writers, because I don't think sometimes we pay attention to what the user is being asked to do. I've even tried to, maybe for the last 6 months or so, try to be a little more patient with people, but I don't know if I can make up for the 4 years where I wasn't very patient.
Well, don't worry about it. You don't have to apologize for anything.
I probably do, because I don't think I've ever really been as patient as I should. So, that's about all I can really say about that. So, but I know going forward, even with F4 edit, I am still probably not going to tutor people, because I think that's one of my big rules. It's like, if you want to know what the record does, you need to go to the construction kit wiki, and right now nothing is filled out. So you either need to add it.
Do you know, Charles, with Fallout 4 edit, I'd never used Xedit. I had never used Xedit until December last year. Been modding for 5 years, never touched the damn thing. I actually opened it up and couldn't stop cussing you guys out for maybe a week, because it's still fucking AIDS UI. I still hate it, but I learned how to do it. Learn how to mod in the CK first, and then Xedit makes sense. It's still annoying as fuck, because I like a UI. I really do like a UI, but it's not that hard to fucking learn. But if you're trying to learn just on Xedit first, well, I think you're a dumbass. Go learn with something with a UI. I know some people really prefer Xedit. Like Fading, he'll fucking use Xedit over the CK at every possible opportunity. And I know there's a lot of people like that. It's just I prefer a full-on UI for shit. Even though I actually found myself making object modifications in Xedit, because the goddamn CK UI for OMods are terrible. They're fucking terrible. Ugh. But yeah.
See, if you want to actually modify any instance naming things, you don't use the creation kit. For example, if you want to call your gun freezing gun, if you add in freezing modification, you have to use the Xedit instead.
Did they not work? Do the DN keywords not work? 'Cause I never checked. I did it in Xedit back.
It's not even that. It's that there's 3. Well, I modified 2 of them. That we provide a script for renaming the field that's for the editor ID. That only the construction kit cares what it is. And then there's one for renaming the full record, which is what you normally see in game. So if you want to name your item, you want a prefix for it to call it food so that all the food lines up. You can just run a script for that. And I wouldn't do that in the construction kit either because I don't want to click on 900 things to rename everything. You can do it. I can literally rename or add a prefix to 1,000 different recipes for a settlement in like 1 minute or less just using that script. So I can totally see why the person, I don't know which person was mentioning it because I can't see everybody, but I would see why you would want to use Xedit for that because there's no way to do that in the construction kit.
Yeah, there's some of the UI fails in it are really obnoxious this time around. It's just having to jump through like 5 different windows and shit for the object mods are what pissed me off. And then I noticed it a few other places when I needed to change things, you know, en masse. I just used fucking Xedit, which was kind of surprising. I was like, it's sort of like it's Stockholm syndrome, right? I was forced to use the damn thing for 6 months, so now I'm just like, it's all right. Fucking, I'll go back to it. I like it now. It's like,
what I really wish is I could find some volunteers that have used it enough and that are tech savvy enough that know what latex is and how to get it installed, because another user had come along and the training manual converted it to latex, and I can't even get the stupid thing to work, and I'm not completely tech unsavvy, but I can't even get it to work. And it's like, I need to, you know, figure it out and be able to update that training manual a little bit, because I think there's a few basic operations that should be in there. It wouldn't be telling you what a record does to the game, but I think it would still be more helpful than somebody that's just starting out modding. I think they'd be able to use edit a little better if that PDF was updated. So I don't know. It would be nice if some people would volunteer for that, because I can't even get latex to work. But I probably should work out a little harder.
Nope. You should work harder for free, and nobody will help you because they don't want to do shit for free for other people.
Oh, I did that once. Somebody pissed me off because they had said there was no documentation. And I'm like, yes, there is. There's a manual. And they're like, okay, but I can't update that manual. And I'm like, all right. So I went and made a text version of the training manual and put it on a wiki page. Nobody ever updated it. Not even the person that was complaining that they couldn't update anything. So
it's even remotely Windows friendly.
So it just goes to show you, yeah, I think a lot of users want it already there and already available. And you're right. They don't want to assist with it. They don't want to help with it. They don't want to pay for it. They just want it to be there. And they don't really realize that, you know, there's only like 2 or 3 people that work on edit that just normally don't have the resources to do like an entire creation kit wiki. It takes hundreds of people to do that. And we're like 3 people. So most of the time, even if we had free time, we tend not to write documentation. But I know it needs to get done. It's just an unfortunate thing that I'm not good at communicating. I don't even think I've probably really made a valid point the whole time I've been talking. I don't think I have the brain for it. Like Einstein said, if you can't explain something in 2 sentences, then you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I might know sometimes what I'm talking about, but I can't explain things in 2 sentences, period, because my mind is going 50 different directions.
I did want to segue because it's no use asking Dark One what his day's like, because I kind of know what his day's like running something. It's a little crazy. So Zalder, I'm actually curious. Like, what's the average life for a moderator on Nexus? Is it like because from what we understand, it's wake up, field 780 reports about DD Productions 83, and then like go about your day.
Club.
Well, your mic did his mic just lose for everybody else, or is it just me?
No, I didn't hear what he said. It totally went out.
Like your mic started and then it just crashed. Like I don't know what happened there.
You spoke too loud, Zalder. And
yeah, the mic was like, what the fuck? Now we gotta wait for the fixes my. I am actually curious. So, like, I don't know what you guys do as like moderators on that. Do you, like, is there like a report queue that everybody can look out and check things off, or like how does that work?
It assumes he can hear us.
I'm assuming he can hear us, but his mic's still not working. How did you break your mic? It was like mid-sentence too. It was just like. I'm closing that chat. Well, we've lost Zalder, guys. We asked him a question about Nexus, and Bethesda stepped in and removed his mic because Nexus does not exist. It's
No, I think the Dark One said we can't be revealing any secrets about the Nexus.
No. It was Bethesda because Nexus doesn't exist. You know how they were hyping. By the way, that hype on like we had 50 times more console users than no shit. You've got more console users, and fucking PC people have been downloading mods for 6 months. They're not like woo mods like. They're like fucking mods. Yeah, we've had this for years.
This is not anything new.
Yeah, you're still not working, Zelter. I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
I should be working now, right?
Yeah, you are. Okay,
Yes.
you're good.
Good.
Well, whoever else wants to say something while Zalder's fixing his mic,
No,
go ahead.
He's fixing
Talk
Zalder.
the whole entire time. I think since I got here anyways, it's been me and Darren, and everybody else is just sitting there. What
It
do you
was like
guys
you and Roy for like 45 minutes just now. Like Jesus. We've been hemorrhaging viewers as we talk about Xedit. I think we're down to just us watching. Like, so no. I actually do want to know. Like, how do you did you guys for moderators? Like, what do you guys do? Just free time whenever you fucking feel like it? Like, is there a schedule? Like, what goes on there? Your mic's working, dude.
No, edit. Oh, okay.
My lord.
Well, we have a list, like reports that everyone can look at, and
like a queue?
Yeah, like a queue. And we spend a few hours every day.
Was it true what Robin said? Is there like a filter for DD Productions that just goes in its own separate queue?
Yeah, we have like normal reports, and then we have DD Productions reports.
I think mine has a filter too, then. I think every time I report something, nobody responds. So I'm pretty sure I lost somebody's trust somewhere, and I must be in the Darren queue, but it was called something else a long time ago, because I'm pretty sure nobody ever answers my questions.
I'm just wondering if my reports just get straight ignored because I'm obnoxious when I do them. Like, I think I reported 70-something mods the other day for asking for donations. So I'm like, well, if I was banned for it, I might as well actually just start catching all of these people.
I want to know if anyone actually follows the guidelines that I wrote for reporting, because it seems like it takes forever for anything that gets reported to get taken down, unless it's the moderator who sees it first.
It sometimes depends on which moderator looks at the report, I guess.
And it also probably depends on how accurate the report, like how accurate and easy it is to verify. Because I don't know if you watched Dogtooth, that thread where I was asking if there's like a way to put in a function to ban people. Like, can people get banned for supporting piracy? And Robin actually explained how they're changing shit to go more, unfortunately, in some respects, to go more like DCMA style, or was it Digital Money DMCA, where they're not going to take down shit unless it's the actual copyright holder, or unless it's blatant, because it does put a lot more stress on the moderation team as a whole, which I get.
And even now, we want to have all the proof in the report.
Yeah, and that'll get it taken down faster, I would assume. Or hopefully, if the person who made the mod admits in his comments that he stole it and laughs about it, that would be a nice. That
happens, actually.
Does that actually happen?
Yeah, all the time.
Jesus.
People brag about stealing stuff.
Fucking geniuses in this world, I swear to God. Like,
oh yeah, there's a whole Twitter thread where these guys are just like, I'm a justice warrior for console users to upload, and I was just like, are you kidding me? You're actually posting such nonsense? Oh God.
How do I find this?
I don't even, dude. I don't even like going on the. I didn't even know like this whole PC elitism thing like until a week ago, and somebody like posted over something like there's PC Master Race, and I'm like, really? There's this whole divide where console users hate PC users. I was like, I think Gopher put it right. He said that he was actually really. He asked if he was the only one happy that console users finally get to experience me, and there's a lot of console users who probably aren't very happy about this shit, but. My favorite were like, you're just a PC elitist and you love your PC players. And somebody's like, dude, you're new here, aren't you? He's been shitting on us for 4 years. I'm like, it's just console users get 4 years of hate into one video.
You know, that's something I don't understand because, like, there's no contesting that a PC is better hardware than a console. It doesn't make them worse. I mean, 15 FPS when it drops down, or even 12, is still acceptable. I've never played a good, consistent frame rate. But if they're okay with that, and they want to buy a console, who gives a fuck? No one's saying computers are gods.
I love how they get outraged when you point out facts. Like, you know, fact, developers downgrade their games for consoles. Fact, PCs are way the fuck stronger. Fact, PCs can do more. Like, it's those are just facts. Like, it's not anything. Like, I own consoles. I play on. I'm gonna go buy Uncharted because I've got a console just to play exclusives when they come out. Which is, woo, they got me to buy these stupid shit paperweights. The fucking like.
It is important to note that it's not just consoles that have an impact. It's also lower end computers.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's pretty much what a console is. It just has a fancy box and you can't replace shit.
And I mean, I have this feeling in the next console generation, they're going to have, like, upgrade components. You're going to be able to, like, unplug your graphics card and put a new one in. Like, they're just going to be fucking computers, and they're going to call them consoles just to sell shit for more money.
Yeah, there'll be Steam boxes, and we can just buy a Steam box and upgrade it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably just be pretty much computers with their funny little shell that makes it all Microsoft Xbox, but it's computer.
Well, didn't they do that with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One? Didn't they basically make it from? I think Xbox uses Intel, don't they?
No, they're both AMD products all the way. They're totally x86 used AMD's graphics technology. Everything's DirectX. That's just how it is. I still don't understand how Sony managed to do that with Microsoft, but.
Well,
yeah,
Sony,
they are crippled PCs. That's what they are. They're like,
well, the PS4 is OpenGL. That's why it doesn't run Fallout 4 very well.
That explains it.
But they're both 64-bit.
I own them, and I've just never seen a point because all the games I want to play, 95% of them are on the PC as well as the console nowadays. So it's just plus owning a P. Well, I mean, like. That's the problem. If you want to play, that's the problem with. I actually do not like the industry's bullshit toward exclusives. I mean, it gyps them. Those developers take massive cutbacks from the people that they do an exclusive for, with the exception of a PC exclusive. A PC exclusive is generally because the game won't run on the other shit, and it's too much work to downgrade it. Witcher, for example. You got ones like Uncharted, which are, you know, a buy-off from Sony. I think it's actually, no, Uncharted, I don't know. Sony paid them off. Like, let's just put it that way. They get a massive millions of dollars of cutbacks from Sony to make their game, you know, PlayStation exclusive only. Just like the other Naughty Dog one, The Last of Us, which was a brilliant move because their games are fucking phenomenal. At least the ones that I've played, and that sells the console. Like, that's the only reason I fucking own a PlayStation. Is for their exclusives, and I mean that it sells the consoles, but I think it's terrible in terms of expanding on the industry. Which I mean, I mean it goes the backwards way too. Like I really love games like The Witcher, or games like fucking Star Citizen whenever it comes out in like 2076, that are going to be, you know, PC only because of the graphic level. Like I mean, I am an elitist. Like I have an incredible fucking computer that can run this shit, so it's really cool to see those. And you know, technology, by the time that's the other cool thing. Like when the games come out, like The Witcher comes out, and you can't play it on your computer, right? You're like, I don't have the money for it. In a year and a half, the money it would take you for a console would probably buy a computer that would run The Witcher 3. And that's the cool thing about PC components, is the price constantly is tanking because of the way technology is moving forward. I mean, you got the GTX 1080s coming out that are, you know, what, 20% lower price than the 980s and do almost double what they fucking do and shit. Like, just the technology pace curve is crazy. And the overpricedness on the initial is because they know that in a year's time, that technology is technically obsolete, so they have to make back their investment money in that first 3-4 months, and then the price just starts going down. So waiting a year to play your games is not a very huge deal. I don't understand people that like lose their shit and need to play a game day one. You get a lot more out of it having a PC and having the components, in my opinion, I think, than having a console. Plus Steam sales. Let's go there. Steam sales. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, Steam sales. Well, there's people like me too, where I don't own a TV, I don't own a stereo, I don't own, you know, other entertainment products in my house because my PC is my entertainment.
I was about to say it's because he's Amish, guys. He is the one
No,
Amish
yeah, I'm Amish. My PC does all of those things. If I want to sit on the couch and watch TV, I can stream to whatever device that I have, you know, to watch television on. I can hook it up to Netflix and Hulu and whatever else, and it's not a problem. I don't need to buy a dedicated television set with cable and spend all the money on that. I spend all that money on my PC instead, which is just a better investment for me.
It really is, in my opinion. I mean, and we do so much more. I mean, obviously, we do more than just game. We're actually working on
I
shit.
think Blue needs a nap.
I need a nap too. I'm like,
I got 4 hours. I'm just dying over here. And then the CPA stuff was really interesting, and then I was actually nodding off. I was like, oh fuck. Like,
No, it's okay. It's just that I'm still like, I'm not like too bothered by anything, but I'm just like, I still haven't met anybody. Like, I don't even know who Blue is or what he does.
Models for me. Those 3 models for me.
I'm his modeling bitch, apparently.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of, somebody just said it took a year to downgrade Witcher 2 for Xbox 360, and this is why any console peasants out there want to be like, our systems are great. It took me a week to make my mod where I think it's going to work with a fucking console, and now I've got to start downgrading all the textures, like one by one, because I have no idea if I can even batch downgrade DDSs correctly. Like, I gotta fucking, it's terrible.
Well, is there anything to do that for Fallout 4? Because the textures are...
No, you're just guessing. Like, apparently you can, though, upload your mod privately and then log in on your console. So I'm going to go out and buy fucking Fallout 4 for my fucking Xbox so that I can make mods for all these ungrateful little shits who call me a fucking PC elitist, so that I can make sure that they work. Although I am tempted to upload the mod, say it's an all-in-one, leave an awesome video, and put in a countdown timer for 24 hours to save their game 47 times and then corrupt every single last one of them.
No, but seriously, could you actually... Is there any kind of texture manipulation? Because with Skyrim, I don't remember what the name of the thing is, but I can take a 2K texture and make it a 1K texture if I want to. Because the format for the texture is rather simple.
Well, yeah, you can downgrade it just fine. I just don't know how my program can batch do it.
4, though, it's my understanding that I don't know all the technical jargon, but like maps or the normal maps.
Are you talking about the bitmap streaming from the archives?
There's something, I don't know the jargon, but I was told that for Fallout 4, you can't use the old Skyrim stuff because it doesn't format the texture correctly for the optimization that Bethesda put for Fallout 4. So can you actually take the texture and downgrade it? Do you know?
Well, the problem with it is Fallout 4 uses bitmaps, which are basically, you got your big-ass texture, and then when it saves, you've got incrementally smaller textures, so as it gets further away, it doesn't take up as much VRAM. On PC, depending on your settings as well as your distance, it will use a different level bitmap. So if you're on like super shitty settings, everything's going to be all blurry and crap. Streams it dynamic.
I follow you so far.
On console, it doesn't do that. There's not enough RAM overhead for it to be able to stream it properly, so all of the assets on console are uncompressed.
So you're getting full res textures pretty much no matter what, unless it's at distance. It won't scale it.
Oh, that's even more horrible than I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that, we could probably just include the 2K textures and then ship that, and the game would just be locked to the second myth level, which would be 1K textures. But apparently it doesn't do that. So we had to downscale everything to 1K.
Yeah, you don't. Well, even
are
if
there
you
tools
use the
to do it?
2Ks, the problem is the size. Like
Yeah.
that fucking power pylon at 2K is still running at like 100 fucking megs of textures and shit. So that's 1/20th of their entire, because you can't compress. The Xbox will not compress the BA2s because they can't uncompress while they're running. Apparently, it just shits itself. So any mod you make is a full uncompressed mod. So what's 130 megabytes for a PC is about 400 for a fucking Xbox, depending on what you're doing. And that's the biggest problem. It's that they're not going to get the... if you give them the quality, which you can give them 4K textures. The Xbox will pull it up. It'll just take fucking forever to boot it. They'll run it, but they'll be very limited on the mods they can use. And their frame rate will get degraded really fast.
Well, does the tool actually save it? Because now that I understand what Dogtooth said, because I've seen those.
Oh yeah, I think Photoshop will even save it correctly now. I think Photoshop has a plugin for it that'll save it, right?
Yeah, plugin.
Yeah, the apps are native to it.
Do they have any third-party programs? Because I can't remember the one it is, but like
Paint.net is what I use.
No, not even that. But like, I had some graphics optimization tool that I downloaded from Skyrim, and I had to do it because like CBBE and some other mods that made these higher res textures, I would have to batch process all of those files. Can you guys batch process those files yet? Are any of the third-party tools upgraded yet for doing that?
No, but you can do it in Photoshop. You can batch script things if you know JavaScript.
Dude, you can batch it with actions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then I guess that's the best workaround for now, but hopefully they come up with some tools, because for me, I'm almost a typical user. I mean, if I'm talking about a plugin, okay, I may understand plugins and their structure, but if I'm doing a lot of modding, I have to go to actual people that do it to ask questions, like to Arthmore or somebody, or I have to go talk to somebody that knows graphics, or I would have to ask Blue, hey, how do I make a snap point for a mesh? Because I don't know what everything.
I would
Panic modding.
make you the mesh though.
I love how everybody thinks I'm the Encyclopedia Britannica of all knowledge that there is, and I'm like, I don't really make mods, and when I do, I only know how to do what I want for that mod, and that's it. I have to ask questions like everybody else. I don't get that.
Well, that's why I like I really do like the group chat we have. Even when we call each other just on some faggots and they do shit all the time. It's we generally have a pretty diverse group of people we can ask questions for shit. Even if the answer is I banged your mom last night when you asked them the question, sooner or later you'll get the answer. So it's with this group we don't know if it's true or not, because it could quite possibly be true. We know not 100%.
I'm pretty sure it's not true. My mom, I know exactly where she is, and that did not occur.
We kind of have the same thing on the TTW site. We've got our private chat room, and we all help each other when we don't know stuff, because I'm a complete scripting, so I can like...
Well, you know what else is kind of unfortunate? I think too, people that have worked together or have a little bit of a relationship or some kind of rapport will tend to help more. And I wish users would pay a little more attention to the question that they're asking. Like say they have a script and it's supposed to teleport someone and it doesn't work. I was explaining this to somebody else. If you've actually researched how to use an activator and how to write at least some kind of script fragment, when you post that question, I think you're going to get an answer.
You're going to get help. No. It's without a doubt you're going to get help. I'm trying to tell people that.
At least done something instead of me saying, I want to make a stone teleport me from some place to somewhere. How do I do that? And you don't have any clue what's going on. That kind of bugs me. But I think it's unfortunate how people kind of form that clique where if you feel that you like the person, you help them. If you don't, then
No, it's not even like the person. Like they'll like complete fucking people that I think are shit stains will get help if it looks like they've done the work. The thing is that you like Robin even called our group and our live stream thing a clique at one point too, which I kind of laughed about because I'm like it's a clique. Anybody's welcome to join. They just need to put in the effort. You've got
except
people,
me.
You've got like you've got. I get messages every fucking day. I just deleted like 5 of them today. Like, help with this, like fucking, it looks like a fucking autistic 5-year-old wrote the fucking message. Now, I'll get messages at other points that are actually excruciatingly complicated to answer, but in the question, they showed that they actually were Googling the shit out of this and working on it and actually trying to learn, and they've got some dedication to it. I'm not gonna help 5-year-old autistic Henry with a fucking problem that's gonna take me 10 minutes to explain it to him, when it looks like he didn't even take 10 seconds to write his fucking email. And that's the problem, is that the vast majority of these dumbasses asking for help literally don't give a shit and they want stuff spoon-fed to them. And the biggest thing behind modding is it's an ass, like, modding is a shit story, it's a shit show. Like I said, none of us know everything about shit. The problem is that all of us have had to go through, you know, the school of hard knocks and have the creation kit beat us in the dicks repeatedly. And we're not going to respect somebody who comes out of nowhere and wants a handout, basically. What we respect is people who've actually put in some time and some work, and they've actually tried something and failed at it. If they have tried something and failed at it repeatedly, that even gets more respect, and I'll actually help them. Because asking for help first and trying afterwards, they're going to fail again. And I don't have any respect for somebody who won't actually try something first before wasting my goddamn time. And that's the problem. There's a lot of people in here who can only do certain things, like blue models shit. Dogtooth models and textures as well, and it's like Unoctium puts Dogtooth shit in the game, I put blues in the game. You've got to have a cohesive work between people that works. If I was trying to do everything myself, it'd never fucking get done. And that's why we laugh at all these fucking, I'm gonna make a new World Space DLC mods, because they have no goddamn clue what they're getting into. You've got to be able to work with other people, and there is a mutual respect to knowing that somebody knows what the fuck they are doing. If Dogtooth came to me out of the blue and said, I want to make models for you, and showed me 0 work and there was an apricot model, I'd say, fuck you, bitch. Like, I mean, that's just natural.
I'd say, hey, as long as you didn't use the actual barrel for the collision mesh, you're good. Because I saw somebody do that for Skyrim for their Halloween meshes. The collision mesh or the stone or whatever it was the barrel collision mesh and not the actual collision mesh for the object, and I thought it was funny. But then I said to myself, I'm still going to use this model anyways because I can't make a collision mesh to save my life. So thumbs up to you for even being able to follow the damn tutorial. But what does Orvid do? I'm sitting here looking at Orvid. He's very quiet. And he looks like he really wants to say something creative. What do you do? What do you do with modding?
Oh, I actually wrote Caprica and ported Chimpollion over, so basically Papyrus compiler.
He helped us all.
Oh, the Papyrus decompiler, right?
Decompiler, but then after that, I actually went and wrote a full compiler.
Oh, because now did you say that the thing was because your mic is a little hard for me to hear off of? Is it the one I think it's called Tempoline? Is how I pronounce it?
That's the decompiler, yeah.
Oh, I love you then, because I use that all the time when people don't package their source with it, and I'm really annoyed that I love mod authors. I'll download a mod and I'll want to use it, but it's broken. Like when I use edit, I will look at like the BMAD record. They totally destroyed the property. Or the script. So I'll use your program, decompile it, and then after I decompile it, then I can actually make the mod work. So I love that program. Thank you very much.
I hate that program. It lets people decompile my scripts and like glom onto my hard work.
I want that for New Vegas and Fallout 3 too. I'd love to have a decompiler.
Well, it was originally for Skyrim. The Chimpollion, all I did was port it to Fallout 4. Caprica is what I put all of my actual work in.
Well, The only thing that really annoys me, though, is every time I decompile, I forget to fucking change shit when I'm actually working on it in the creation kit, and the creation kit's like, error, function doesn't work with end. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah,
function end.
I get a lot. When I started with the CK beta when it was still closed and only people that really knew what they were doing were there, people were trying to
You
ask.
mean before they just let everybody in and got flooded with questions like, how ICK?
Yeah, after they grilled everybody about the people that we were recommending, like 2 days later, it's like, ah.
They let in everybody. People who didn't even own the
It
game
drove me
got
nuts.
into the CK beta.
But like people would ask intelligent questions, and the guy that wrote Papyrus would come in and answer, and he'd say, "No, that's the Skyrim way of doing that script. You can't. You have to add these 2 or 3 elements to the script, or else it's not really going to function correctly for Fallout 4." I really liked having those nice questions instead of the "I can't do anything, throw my hands up in the air, I'm helpless, and then tell me how to do it." I don't know. I didn't really care for that. But that's why I kind of like the decompiler, because then you can at least also look at somebody else's work. I don't really think it should be used to rip people off, but I don't know that everybody does. I don't. But I definitely want to see why something works
Hey,
and why.
I know how I learned. I grabbed like 20 other mods, and then I just basically deconstructed what they did and made my own shit after that. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna make it hard on these bitches. My nifs all have names like, could you forget your fucker? Can you pick up? And then like, I just smacked it.
Oh, I love. That's why when I PM'd you and you wanted a menu, you said, "Hey, I'm really not liking any of these mods that want to add everything to the vanilla menus." And so I'm like, pick your own damn menu and call it something cool, because every single one of your mod file names is weird. And I was telling you, make the Xanadu menu or whatever. And you never even responded to that.
I don't like compatibility issues. Like I don't even like my mods will work with the like somebody had said they were using that stupid test mod, and they're like, the engrams are dropping shit from Far Harbor and Automatron, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't. But he's like, it doesn't require them. I'm like, yeah, because it's not that fucking hard. Like, just make your mod so it just requires vanilla, detects the other things, injects the shit via script, and bada bing, bada boom. It's an extra 5 minutes worth of work, but then I don't slave my mod to fucking DLC. I don't like doing that. I don't use the DLC, so I can't slave it to them.
I heard that you don't like to be a slave to the DLC, and so I
will not sell their product for them unless I'm getting something out of it. Fuck them.
Yeah. No, but what was funny is I was telling them that, hey, the actual Build-A-Bear mod, if somebody doesn't want to download your all-in-one, overwrites one of the records. And I said, but that's not DLC. It's Fallout 4 ESM. So I'm like, I don't know. I did PM you about it so that you could.
Well, there's no. See, I'm also a fucking. I'm a whore and I'm an asshole, and not fixing any of my mods right now is going to actually force everybody into using the all-in-one quest mod that I'm doing for the contest. So I'm not stupid. I could fix them all, but why fix them all? Because I'm making something better.
Well, I'll agree with you there, 100%. And I don't even say that because you said it. I'm just as much as an opinionated person as anyone else, but.
And it's a waste of time. It's like, why fix all this shit when they can
mods. I don't actually see how you're going to update like the important ones, because they're all pretty good, and that's the one thing that I like about your mods. It's like they're unique and they do something different. If I want to go and find a furniture mod, it seems like there's 100 furniture mods and they all basically do the same thing. But yours kind of have a unique purpose, and I've liked that. Aside from the really interesting names.
That's because people are generally boring. They don't.
Well, what was it? Train Wiz did a mod, and he had Bruce Hamar in it. And I am pretty sure that Bruce says something about mod authors putting a chest in Whiterun because they're not creative enough to figure out a different way to do it.
A lot of the people that come up with shit are just boring, or they duplicate things that are popular. That's actually a big one, you know. Duplicate house mods. Come out with here's an interior house that's just an empty cell and you can just build shit in it, which is basically they just copied the ESP from somebody else, made a different interior, and then used the damn thing because that works. And it's just people are boring. Like they either want to get the popularity, they don't want to put the work into it. And I mean, the one thing about a lot of the people in here is that they actually do unique shit. Like there's I mean, Ellie basically pioneered fucking house mods, for Christ's sake. Like she's way too
I wish she was here today, because I talk to her all the time on Steam.
She was on her with her parents. She's like out of, I don't know if she's out of country, but she's definitely out of home for the day.
No, that's fine. But I met her. I had downloaded one of her mods, and she had said that the lighting inside of the house was green. And I didn't know anything about lighting, but it happened to be something I was fiddling with. So I tried to fix it for her. And then I discovered that she had deleted nav mesh. So I showed her how to delete them, and I made her a video on how to do it. And like, she could learn really quick. And I didn't, so again, it wasn't necessarily like I knew more than her. She knew how to do the house mod, but like the one or two technical things she didn't know how to do, I just said, here's how you do it. And after that, we just kind of hit it off, and now we talk every so often, and she's probably the only Steam person I talk to, actually.
I was gonna say, everybody knows more than Ellie, but nobody can build a house that goddamn fast. Are cluttered. No, I'm just kidding.
No, well, but how many house mods did she make from Skyrim? I was gonna try to get them all to work.
Over 9,000.
And then I gave up because there were like 40.
Even if you merged them all, I think it would be really funny to just open up your map and see how many fucking Ellie houses are all over Skyrim, and you're like, wow, this place is actually really lived in. It's like...
That's what I told her once, and I never did it. But I said, I want to get all of your house mods, fix the nav meshes so that it doesn't crash when you walk past the house.
I want her to make a Fallout 4 apartment complex and just make it like an actual one in Southern California, so just crack dealers outside, just random crazy shit happening.
Yeah.
While you're in there trying to buy your jet, the drive-by happens.
I told her I wanted to have NPCs outside of the house doing work for all of them, and I'm just like, now that you have 40, I can't do it.
Business, merge all of Ellie's Skyrim house mods and then put them on Bethesda.net.
Oh, no. Well, if you know
yourself a justice warrior.
The other thing, like, I really admire Mador and how he'll make that merging plugin deal.
The fact that it still fucking works for Fallout is pretty damn good. I love it. It's just simple.
Well, I've been telling people, or I've been trying to tell them the truth, but I've also tried to qualify it and say, hey, I don't know everything. And what I've told people recently is that I'm pretty sure he had to, at some point, specify different fields or a path. Like, whenever you look at a record in edit, you notice how it'll say, like, data, because Bethesda, for some stupid reason, calls all of theirs that. And then underneath it, you have, like, the value for the weight. So the path to the value is data/weight. When he makes his merge plugin, I'm pretty sure he has to use our record definitions. And so somebody had asked earlier in the week, I want to merge all my mods with his scripts. Can I still do it? I'm like, well, I guess you could, but you should probably ask him, because did he actually use any of the Fallout 4 decoding? Are you going to break something? Or have missing data because you used something?
I'm going to say, use his fucking script. It works perfectly fine. It even picks up the errors when things shouldn't be copied. It was erroring out on my Buster Sword because of the way I used the keywords wrong, and so I had to go back and fix everything in Xedit before I could merge it. There's been literally zero fucking issues with the merged shit in my all-in-one. It's actually, that's why I put it out there to test, because I was the same thing you said. I wasn't actually sure if there would be some bleed out or something wrong, and the best part is that that wasn't just one merge of all the mods. I merged in 2 to 3 mods at a time, so that was 10 different merges all told. The end ESP has been merged 10 times, and it works flawlessly. There's nothing wrong with it.
Well,
surprise.
Good, because I know that people really like to do that, but I'm still going to be curious if there's anything he has to update, because I'm just worried that some record or some record that belongs to something else isn't getting copied, and it's unfortunate when that happens because everybody comes to the edit thread.
No,
and
it'll read the error if the error log in. What the annoying thing is that you can't actually keep that error log open and go back into Fallout 4 edit. Like you have to close the error log to actually go back into Xedit. But the error log is actually extremely accurate when it tells you the problems, because that's how I detected my keyword problem and a couple of others. It detected, it was a whole new thing too. It was like the fact that the keyword wasn't flagged as a recipe, and then there was another keyword that wasn't flagged as a whatever the fuck it is, a mod association. And I just made new keywords. I didn't actually flag them for anything because I never knew. That's something new. I was like, what the hell is this flagging shit? Yes, Vertigo, the merge script for Skyrim works in Fallout 4. Now, he did update it at the end of last year, so I don't know if he caught on to shit, because I think it was after November it had its last update. I'm not 100% on that, though.
No, I don't know either. But if it works, that's great. But I think the only thing that I hate sometimes is that users will say, I tested it in game and it works fantastic. I'm like, really? Do you know how many years I've spent decoding records for 2 different things, the edit and then Rye, or Rye bash and stuff? It's like, the records are not always the same, so I always worry that something is going to break that way. I guess I get too paranoid.
I'd stop being paranoid about it, because a couple hundred people using the thing nonstop, I would imagine I would have gotten at least one complaint, and none of my testing ever had an issue. Honestly, I was really surprised. That was my biggest bitch, was I was really paranoid about the merging. That's why I hadn't done it for so long.
Well, but it also sounds like you will go in and try to do something or fix something in the CK where I'm not sure that every author really looks at the plugin enough and fixes stuff. So that's
just auto, like go in, check it, then go load it.
I don't think anybody should really just blindly do everything. And never test it.
No, it's
really
like literally, it's like merge. It's like merge. Like I merged 3 mods, and so I fixed one of the mods, save it. Like I just make sure everything is realigned. Then I load Fallout, test that one, go back, fix the second one. Put it where I need it, test it. Like people don't understand how much testing goes in. Like I don't think anybody here that actually, that works in the CK has spent more time in the game they mod playing it than they have testing. It's just like a natural fucking, once you start modding, you realize that your time in the game is 95% spent testing the damn thing. And Charles right, there's a lot of people who don't. They just make the shit or copy shit or merge your mods and upload them so they break your fucking consoles. And they don't test a damn thing. And that's actually, I think, the biggest bitch we had with console use is how the fuck are we going to test our mods, being all of us who are modders are fucking PC users. How the hell are we going to test this shit on the fucking consoles? And
what about you, Zelda? What kind of mods do you play with? I mean, do you even use any at all?
Honestly, I don't play Fallout at all. So.
Do you play Skyrim?
No.
No? You just do moderating and that's about it then?
At the moment, yeah.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Yeah,
a little bit of that. Like
Minesweeper.
What do you like to play then? Because I like, say, Metal Gear. I might play that if I have some time.
Sure, definitely Witcher.
Definitely
Witcher?
Yeah.
I'm still running a potato. I haven't tried getting any other games. I barely got Fallout 4 to work with my computer, so.
Well, you know what the worst part about Fallout 4 is that The Witcher is definitely a more taxing game on the system, but because the engine, just the engine problems, my computer actually has a worse time running Fallout 4. Like if I jump Fallout 4 into 4K, I think I can run at like 20 frames per second at best, and like Witcher runs 25 to 35 depending on where I'm at. And it's the same thing with streaming it. Like, trying to stream Fallout is just horrendous, whereas I can stream Witcher at, I can stream Witcher at 50 frames per second at regular resolution at 1920 by 1080, and Fallout will dip down to 15. What?
What does Doom run at 4K?
Doom is fucking phenomenal. I can run Doom at 60 FPS while streaming it in 4K. I don't know what the fuck they did with that, but it runs smooth as shit. I was surprised. Like, that engine is either there's just, I mean, obviously when you play, if you played the game and you look at it, there's not much there in terms of, you know, polys and shit that needs to be rendered. They're very, you know, clutter light, let's say. They're just, you know, shooting galleries and running through them and shit. So you're not actually dealing with the amount of poly. Like, one of Eleonora's houses has more polygons than an entire Doom level. So it's, I mean, that's what you're looking at. It's so it does run smooth though. It runs super fucking smooth. It's surprising.
How long have you been doing games, Zalder?
Huh?
Do you play games? You've been a gamer for your entire life, or?
Yeah. My entire life.
What did you start playing? My son started playing Pokemon with me. They were probably like 7 or 8 years old, and I got them all a Game Boy. What did you start playing with?
What I started playing at?
Yeah.
The PC.
What did you play first, though? 'Cause I actually played things like Day of the Tentacle, or stuff that you isn't out anymore, like Elite.
Yeah,
but
he
they
looks
make
as old as me. He started with Super Mario Brothers. Motherfucker.
Elite was amazing. I remember that game on the Commodore 64.
Actually, you're right. I did start with an Atari, but still. My parents actually owned an Intellivision. I just don't ever remember playing the damn thing.
What about you, Doc? What did you start playing first game?
The first game I ever played, it's called Prince of Persia, the first one.
Oh, I remember that one. That one came out because it was on Apple.
That shit was horrible. Never beat the first level. I started with Prince of Persia, and then I didn't touch another game until Halo came out.
What did Halo come out on? Because I never had an Xbox ever, but I know that Halo's kind of an Xbox game.
Yeah, I think Combat Evolved was an Xbox exclusive.
Halo 1 was, yeah. All the Halos were actually. Never mind.
Halo 2 was
PC. They did PC.
Yeah, it came to PC eventually. So, I mean, my gaming history, kind of like, it's Prince of Persia, and then Halo, then Morrowind, then Oblivion, and that's...
I think mine started, like, for real with Morrowind, actually.
Did you used to use, like, Isis Castle, and the one that had, what's his name, Rambo, Sylvester Stallone in it? Did you ever download that mod to add him to your castle?
No.
I used to mod the heck out of Morrowind. I don't even know if all of the mods are actually on the Nexus that I have.
No, there's, I think you have to go to Morrowind modding history.com.
Because anything that starts with ices, like the word ice, like what melts, water, every single one of her mods had something unique about it, and clothing and different things. One of them actually made this awesome player home, and you can play music in it, and it has rock and roll, and it has Rambo, and you can recruit him as a follower, and it's got a Bremer motorcycle in it, and it was,
in less than 1 month, Bethesda has managed to ruin those 10 years of nostalgia and modding and turn it into hate.
Well, I actually worked on trying to make it work with Morrowind, and then ran into too many obstacles, and I've just kind of left it, because that's one of the unfortunate things with me. I may be able to decode records, or I can use what code is already there and make the record display correctly, but I can't write the actual code like Zlab and HLP do that make the engine do what it's supposed to.
Osnius, your first real game was Warcraft 3? Are you 14?
Oh, I never played that, and so when I started playing World of Warcraft, everybody said that there was all this history from all these other games, and I should play the other games, and I'm like, no. I'm having fun with it just the way it is. So I don't know. I never played Warcraft. The original one.
Donkey Kong. There's some old games. Fuck.
Well, but Donkey Kong was an arcade
I linked the title.
What?
I linked the title in the Zoom chat. That I got you all.
Daggerath. Real
Yeah.
time first person. Yeah, you dated yourself with that one.
Oh. But you know, it had one of the neatest things. It would your heart rate was tied to your typing, so if you you have to go enter to move down the thing, right? But if you did it too quickly, you would run down the hallway and pass out. And
I've heard of that game, but I never played it, and now I see why. It was for a TRS-80, and I never had that.
There's a Windows conversion, and I think it's a whole 64 kilobits.
I like the games that queue up the stupid shit you do. Like they stopped. They only did it in Dead Space 1, but basically they would if you because they knew they were gonna panic the shit out of you. So they made it so if you hit the buttons multiple times on the controllers, your character would do that action in queue sequence. So you'd have a fucking necromorph jump out, you'd smash the melee button 5 times, and next thing you know, your guy's just sitting there swinging in midair while you're getting mauled from behind because you freaked out and hit the controller. It was the greatest shit. I was like, fuck you guys, and I was like, oh, it's letting me queue up the actions, and I'm like, fuck that. It was genius though, because you got killed repeatedly because you would panic, and it was great.
My first one was a this weird dungeon game on one of the old Macs from late 80s, early 90s. I not for the life of me remember what the name is.
Dark Castle?
I don't think so. Maybe let me look it up. I'm trying to do a Google search on it. And
Hello, everybody. This is Hunter. She's one of my writers and helping do level design now.
I was wondering where that.
I told her we needed more. We needed not a sausage fest on here.
What, do I not look girly?
Sausage fest. Everybody talks about it. It's like if you would leave that out, it wouldn't be called the sausage fest.
That's true.
I'm sorry, Hunter. I didn't even know there was anybody else. I've been trying to get other people to talk because
it's okay. No, it was not Dark Castle. The graphic level looks similar, but it was even not so good.
Did you ever play any Commodore 64 games, Hunter? Like Zork or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No, my mother wouldn't let me have any video game things, so I would only play at other people's houses or things like that. So it was pretty limited. Until I became
did you ever play on an Atari? Because that's kind of where I got my console experience from. Probably it's the original Atari.
Goddamn console plebs back in the 80s.
Possibly. It's been a long time, but I do remember playing on the Nintendo for Super Mario Brothers and all of that. And Bubble Bobble.
I remember Bubble Bobble in the arcade.
Yeah, Bubble Bobble.
I think my kids might have that. I know we still have the Super Nintendo system, and it even works. We have all the controllers and stuff, but the only time we ever really dig it out is to play Mario or Zelda. We don't really get it out to play Bubble Bobble even if we have it.
No, not even.
But I couldn't hear you.
Not even Spider.
Okay, that's your internet cutting out.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh shit, that reminds me. I need to pay mine.
Okay, I jiggled the wire. Street Fighter.
Oh, that was you, Roy. Okay. Now I can't hear you at all again, Roy. Sorry.
I stopped talking.
Hunter
was talking, so I stopped talking.
Oh, I couldn't hear Hunter either. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I found it. It was Dungeon of Doom. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I wonder if I've ever played it. I'm gonna try it. Dungeon of Doom. Let me Google that.
Oh yeah, I played that. It was like a top-down rogue style game.
Yeah, with the cells and yeah.
Yeah, and then you find a monster room by accident where there's 10 monsters that are randomly generated, and you just.
I am not finding any good images yet, but working on it.
Oh,
I don't think I've played it, to be honest.
They got a version of it for iOS on iTunes for $3. Slightly colored version.
Huh.
That's so awesome. I'm gonna go buy that right now. I love that.
Did you ever play Gauntlet? I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of a top-down run around. kind of game. Do you,
I'm
you know
actually
what I mean by that, Leonard?
That was like one of my favorite arcade games.
Do you know what I mean by that, Hunter? Did you ever play Gauntlet in the arcades?
Doesn't sound familiar. I like Tekken and Mortal Kombat. They were great for mashing buttons.
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of the button masher. That's what my son asks me. He's kind of the expert at just about every game that he plays. And whenever I try to fight with him or his brothers, he asks me, "How's that button mashing going, Dad?" I used to play, well, now see, when my sons were probably still 7 years old, I could play Tekken and I could beat them. They were only 7. I mean, it wasn't like it was that much of a challenge.
Sorry to interrupt. I need to bail. See you guys later.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man. We're probably going to wrap it up soon anyway.
Yeah.
And so whenever I would play them, they were like, "Oh, Dad is so cool because he can play all these games," and now they beat me. And in fact, they gang up on me. I can't even play any game with them. Especially if we do the like World Wrestling Federation, they all just take turns slamming me into the mat, and I could never do anything. I just quit after a few minutes.
No, this isn't really go to meetings. That's a go to meeting.
I don't know. So, Charlotte Grant, did you have a Commodore 64? Was that your first computer? Or?
Yes. Well, actually, the Commodore PET was the first.
Oh, the PET, yeah.
But
64 was my first. Did you play Paradroid ever?
Maybe.
Maybe? How about Space Taxi?
Space Taxi.
It's going to be hard for me to remember those because I ran a bulletin board off of the Commodore 64.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
And then the 128, and then I got my first PC, and I ran Wildcat BBS kind of software, and so...
Did you ever use First Class BBS? I ran one of those way back when. It was the first GUI interface.
No, I didn't use First Class. I'm not 100% sure that I even knew what it was, because really, when I had the Commodore 64, there were only a few, and the 128, there was only one thing that even worked for those. And then when I went to the PC, I just got Wildcat, and that was it. That's all I ever used. So I still have the discs for it. If I could get my Pentium 60 to work, the power supply doesn't function. But if I can find a power supply and make it work, I could probably set it up again. Because everything on the hard drive is still there. It's just off in the garage.
Was it a multi-node?
No, I never did the multi-node because back then, it was I had to pay for everything myself. My parents weren't about to do that. So I only had one line, and that was it. I did write my own door, though. I called it the Tower of Shadows, and it was written in Pascal. I still even have my Pascal DOS discs.
Pascal?
Yes, Pascal.
That explains why you still work on NextEdit, because it's in Pascal, too.
It's Delphi, which is basically Pascal, so...
I used to use Pascal for a program called HyperCard.
All I know is Orvid's fucking decompiler, or not decompiler, but Caprica itself would push the shit out into Pascal, and it made me want to kill myself, so I do never want to learn that shit.
No, I wrote it, and what I did for that was I basically made what I think Bethesda stole the plugin from that for me. Because I basically made it where you had a text file and you would put in it what you wanted for the room, like a description field, what NPC was there, what door was there. And you could actually make your own text file. You could make the module that you would use with the door if you actually took the time to do it. So you weren't stuck with the old BBS doors where they just did whatever the author came up with. You could actually make your own mod. More or less. And then I lost the source code, and I've never tried to reconstruct it. But we have Morrowind, so we don't need that.
You know what needs to happen, Nighthawk? I was gonna say we need to somebody just needs to do a full graphic overhaul for Fallout 4, and just drop everything down to 128 textures, so it looks like old school Doom.
So it looks like Borderlands 2?
No, Borderlands 2 looked alright. Shut up.
No. Some of the textures are terrible in Borderlands 2.
Yeah, but see, Borderlands made up for it with something that Fallout doesn't have, which is called awesome gameplay and story and voice acting.
Yes, Jack is
and
best.
Loot. Like, seriously, somebody needs to pick up on that loot system. Just jack it for something. Like, how, like, say, fucking, like, 500 billion different types of gun combos. Like, how hard is it to just run RNG things on your guns when they drop? Come on.
I wanted to touch on something there. Charlotte,
yeah.
You mentioned Morrowind. How goes the decoding and actually making a version of edit for Morrowind?
Oh, the holdup, what I'm waiting for is when Slab and HLP have time. It's because there's no form ID at all. So what you have is you'll have a field, we'll just call it the string ID, if you will. That could be called the green wall. So anytime that you want to access the green wall, you just use that string ID. And so until Lab and HLP can come up with a way to access that and make sure that it's kind of like the form IDs function, then it might actually work. So that's the big holdup right now. There's no form IDs.
Does it have editor IDs or
no IDs whatsoever?
No IDs. Straight up
green wall. That's what it's called. If you have a string called the green wall and you want to call it the green wall left, you will break every plugin because you have to have that string ID has to be the same. That's how you reference the other.
Wait,
like when you have the
I just zoned out for a second. In Morrowind, everything's a string ID reference. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
you can't change the string.
I'm glad I didn't start modding then. I would have probably killed other people.
It's well, okay. I'll say this: if you're using the construction kit, it's easy because obviously the construction kit doesn't let someone do something stupid. But we're going to have that kind of check to say, hey, you're about to change the most important field from the green wall to the left green wall. You can't do that, or every single plugin is going to be broken.
Does their CK reorder it when you do it? Like when the current CK does, if you change the name of something or whatever, it will repoint everything correctly?
I haven't used it, but I assume that it does because nothing ever broke when I used the Morrowind CK, so I assume yes that it automatically will manage it.
Compared to Oblivion and Skyrim, modding of Morrowind was awesome. It was great.
So the other thing that a lot of people too, when they would mod Morrowind, people could merge plugins, and so now everybody says, "Hey, in Morrowind, we could merge a plugin," and I'm like, "Well, of course." It was very basic. There were probably 60 or 80 records instead of 120, and now 140, and other things. A lot of other people don't know that the save games for Morrowind is a plugin. It's not a save game.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Oh, I want to remove the bloat. I remember there was a way to do that in Morrowind and Oblivion and all this stuff." I'm like, dude, the save games for Skyrim and now even with Fallout 4 is a very compact group of binary data, and there is nothing that is unused. Do you guys know that you can actually take edit, put the command line saves, and it will let you look at your save game?
Yeah, I knew that. I've been tinkering around with it and was hoping that Hughes would finish that functionality so we could get things in our save games.
But the thing is that what makes it almost impossible is if we look at a plugin now and we want to change the weight for a weapon, nobody is ever going to put something stupid for the weight, like 65,535. But the number might allow that, right? So what Bethesda does is they assign everything to be a 32-bit integer, even though you only use the first one. Nothing will ever go over 256. In fact, the CK will sometimes restrict the number. You can't put it higher than 256. But the plugin is still a 32-bit integer. The save game doesn't do that. So trying to figure out all those values is pain in the butt, according to HLP. He's like, it's not impossible, but it's just really difficult to figure out what is referencing what.
Right. basically it hasn't been decoded yet, like everything else. You'd have to like.
Well, no, there's no way to do it. I mean, because again, when we decode a plugin, we basically
Guess, man. Just guess.
Hey.
Get it wrong. Guess.
Oh
Again.
No, that's
because
not how it
somebody's game. Like, have you ever had somebody go, "Yeah, man, I use that tool that like rips the save or the settlement out of your save game, and then you can put it back." And then later on, when they break their save game, they're like, "Oh man, the guy that wrote that program sucks." And I'm like, "What? How can you say that? You were doing something destructive from the beginning. Nobody's ever decoded save
See,
game."
this is why I generally, unless I get a bug report with actual information, I tend to generally ignore it, because these are the same people where if you handed them a handgun, they would like shoot themselves in the arm and then blame the handgun manufacturer for making a dangerous implementation.
I somehow doubt if you hand someone a gun that they're going to shoot them with something.
No, don't underestimate this.
You want to take that bet? We could round
I
up.
don't
We could
really.
round up 100 average mod users, and if we gave them each guns, I would guarantee you there would be one person dead and at least 7 injured by the end, if not everybody injured. Because the moment one of the retards accidentally discharges the gun, everybody's going to think somebody else is shooting at them. Then they're all going to think that the Desert Eagle they're holding is actually a good combat weapon, and it's just going to go straight to hell.
Or just get startled.
But anyways, yeah. So it's just not that easy. But the other thing too.
Maybe that's a pipe dream on how I'm hoping users kill themselves off. Like, so
No, I don't.
Deal with
I know there's a need for population control, Darren, but I don't think giving 100 people guns is the way to solve it.
I know. I think voting Donald Trump in is.
No. We just need the euthanasia coaster and offer everyone $1 million if they can survive it, and they'll come in droves.
No. I wouldn't do that either. I'm not gonna. But anyways, the save games. No, you can look at them, but they're the save games for Morrowind are just plugins.
No, Roy. Our population is so stupid. We could tell people, Russian roulette will pay you $20,000 if you succeed, and then you hand them a 22 automatic.
That's exactly the same point that I was making. What were you saying,
like,
Sarge?
Oh, I've got a 1 in 6 chance. Clip. Boom. Well,
that's exactly the same point that I was making. What were you saying, Sarge?
Oh, I've got a 1 in 6 chance. Clip. Boom. Well,
that's exactly the same point that I was making.
Dogtooth is back.
Wow.
I have no idea what just happened.
I was watching the stream on my phone.
Well, now that you're back, we're going to close it off. We've been 3.5 hours of this shit, so if anybody wants to say goodbye to people, I don't know. Blue's like, fuck this tablet.
Goodbye, everybody!
First games I ever played, I got playing it on my tablet. Fucking awesome!
Well, I think an important thing to mention real quick before we go is to make sure that this doesn't turn into the opposite of paid modding, how the user base decided what we want and killed it before it could grow into something cool. Obviously, as Matt said earlier, they're putting more people on moderation and making sure shit works. So this is fucking bullshit what's going on right now, but let's try and fucking deal with it as best we can, even if we have to DMCA everything. But let's just fucking deal with it, because it should turn into something cool.
It's not hard. I'm going to do that tutorial. Like, literally, we can just detect their Xbox, pop up a message that say, this mod, name your mod, is stolen. Please delete it and report the person who stole it, and just shut their game down. And then every time, that way there's no corruption of their save, etc. It just shuts their game down, and they have to uninstall the mod. It's not even hard. It's 3 lines of script at best, like nothing. It's just, which people are going to be able to actually steal. But for the people who actually make mods that rely on scripts, you can make that permanent, where you're going to fuck somebody. Like, they'll actually have to go do work to do that, because apparently unpacking from the BA2s isn't going so well for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it tends to corrupt files. But I mean, I can't condone doing harmful shit to a console mod.
Shutting their game down and telling them to uninstall your mod, because it's still isn't
Yeah.
harmful to them. It's going to take them a minute or so, and it's honestly from the reaction we saw on the guy who stole my mod and some of the other pages, the user base was actually extremely hostile toward the fucking people who stole it in general, which was surprising to me because they're not that on Reddit, but on Bethesda they actually were, by and large, really hostile to the guy who stole the shit. Also, adding in that the file is not optimized for consoles and will break it will help as well because they'll believe you. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as you make it non-destructive in a way that's just like, hey, this shit's bunk, it's not ready, that's why it's not here, and then crash, that's fine. You know, as long as they're made aware that here's why your game's going to shut down in about 5 seconds.
And they get pissed about their saves getting corrupt, too. Apparently, they don't have a lot of options on, like, I mean, I realized that. I was like, we can just save 8,000 different fucking times. We don't give a shit. Apparently, they don't have that option. Like, there's a limited amount of saves they can have and shit, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, fun times. Anybody else?
Before we go, is your name the same on the Nexus forum? Because I had a question about something, and I know you guys were pretty busy, but they didn't get back to me, and it's been a month. So
just add an I, an extra I.
An extra I?
Yeah, D-I-I-R.
Oh, okay.
Our search for flags of the Commonwealth.
Flags of the Commonwealth?
Flags of the old world.
Oh, flags of the old world, yeah.
So you did that one? Because I'm pretty sure I have that loaded, but I just have like 80 settlement mods working right now, so I'll have to look that up. Okay.
I think that's the next. You know what? I'm gonna make that. That's like I'll release that for consoles. I'm gonna make the settler catapult now that I can nav mesh mods. Like I'm just gonna make a fucking mod that's a catapult. You tell your settler to walk into it, and then you activate it, and you just fucking throw them.
I'm done with you.
It's like I can't get rid of you the right way.
Infidel.
I should make like an artillery cannon attached to it that like points in that direction, just time it right. They throw the settler and it shoots them, blows them up in midair and fireworks. How many people do you think will tell Preston to walk into the catapult?
Oh no, it's the lady that always complains that she'll quit complaining when there's nothing to complain about. I don't even know her name, and I don't like her.
Marcy.
Marcy?
Yes.
Oh, Marcy Long. That's why everybody asked if they can kill Marcy. That's right.
No, when you have the catapult, you have to give like a defense rating for it.
Defense rating. Make it require power and everything. Just like, and you can put it up on the console. No, fuck that. I'm just gonna make a catapult when you activate it throws people. This is a cheap mod, okay? I'm not going into work on this thing. Like I've had people comment on the build a wall mod that I did for one of the get to know your mod author things. So like, this was broke with 1.5. Can you fix it? I'm like, who's actually placing the piece of concrete and wants a wall that never stops growing? Like, it never stops. It will go to the edge of the fucking map. I'm like, what? Why is this a benefit? What is this? You actually are using this mod? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's why they probably think it's broken, because they didn't read the description.
No. He said it wasn't working with 1.5. He wanted to fix for it so he could keep using it in this game.
Oh. No.
I had somebody actually, like, build it and then get on top of it real quick and run with it. And as long as you keep loading cells, I thought I had made it so it cuts off. Well, apparently it doesn't. I thought it... Like, whatever I fucking put as a condition, like, I wanted it to build 80 times and stop. Well, I made that, unfortunately, a condition that didn't count itself as it went. I made it an int instead of a global. So it just keeps fucking building forever. It'll never stop. Like, you can just ride the fucking wall to the edge of the map from wherever you stopped. It's the best mod. Trump 2016. Alright, let's end the stream.
One thing. Darren?